5% down to 30%.
We enter into a 90-day pause period for negotiations, which both the Chinese and the United States are very committed to. And the Chinese on their side also go down 115% to 10%.
U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer, after weekend talks in Switzerland, he also says
both the Chinese and the United States agreed to work constructively together on fentanyl, and there's a positive path forward there as well.
That's going over well on Wall Street. A stock market rally is brewing. Dow futures up almost 900 points. A hostage release is imminent in Gaza at some point today. The last living American still held captive by Hamas will be set free.
Idan Alexander, who was raised in New Jersey, was serving in the Israeli army when he was captured by Hamas during the attack of October 7th, 2023. Hamas says it'll free the 21-year-old today after almost 600 days in captivity. Alexander's planned release comes after talks with the United States, Egypt and Qatar. These part of efforts to get a ceasefire in the Gaza war, along with the release of all remaining hostages.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. President Trump will leave the country later this morning for a Middle East trip to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. Before he goes, the president plans to sign an executive order aiming to lower prescription drug prices. At the Vatican...
Buongiorno. Good morning, and thank you for this wonderful reception.
That's Pope Leo XIV a short time ago before a gathering of thousands of journalists, days after he was elected. He then switched to Italian. The Pope called free speech and the press a precious gift, urging journalists to use words for peace, to reject war and give voice to the voiceless. Pope Leo also called for the release of imprisoned journalists around the world. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
A fired up Cambridge Fieldhouse. You've got a cloudy sky and it's 61 degrees in the Circle City. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 6:02. Just some of what the Fieldhouse sounded like Sunday night after the Indiana Pacers dominated the Cleveland Cavaliers in Game 4 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, 129-109. They lead that series now 3-1 with a chance to close it out Tuesday night back in Cleveland, which would send them back to the conference finals. Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle says the approach does not change.
We're going to keep approaching this like we have everything to prove. And we know people don't believe in us.
At halftime, the Pacers led 80-39. That 41-point lead is tied for the largest halftime lead in NBA postseason history. The 80 points they scored in the half were a franchise postseason record. 2 men were shot in a park on the northwest side of Indianapolis Sunday night just after 6 o'clock. It was on East Riverside Drive near Birdsall Parkway. IMPD says both men are stable, but now they're trying to figure out what led up to the shooting. At about 11:40 Sunday morning, a truck with Fathers Matter on the back of it slammed into the Johnson County Juvenile Detention Center. Chris Davis reports.
Not only was 39-year-old Jacob Daunt misguided, but he could have hurt somebody, says Johnson County Sheriff Dwayne Burgess. He says right after the crash, deputies arrested Daunt, who says he was frustrated because he hadn't been able to see his son for more than a year. He criticized the youth court system, but Daunt was not a blameless father. He was a wanted man on meth dealing charges in Shelby County. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
$3.06 a gallon is the statewide average for gas today, says Gas Buddy. A few stations in Indianapolis are selling it for $2.71 and less. Hundreds of children are now rookie runners after a race in downtown Indianapolis. The Kids Day and Rookie Run was Saturday, a week after the 500 Festival mini marathon. Close to 700 kids participated, running in different courses as their families cheered them on. The distance varied from 1 block up to about a third of a mile. I'm John Herrick, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. Your traffic and weather next. It's 6:04.
Masters Heating and Cooling is ready to make sure you are cool and comfortable all summer long. They took great care of my system, and they can help you make sure that everything is ready to go to ensure a nice, comfortable summer and then a very comfortable winter. I've worked with their general manager, David, numerous times, and it has always been a pleasure. And right now, you can get $500 off a new AC system. And if you've worked with Masters before and you've spent more than $500 on AC repairs in the last year, you can apply apply that amount as a credit towards a new system as well. Masters Heating and Cooling makes it easy. They've got flexible financing options and 24/7 service, so no matter what your issue, Masters Heating and Cooling is right there to take care of you and your family. Give Masters Heating and Cooling a call. 317-567-9505. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-567-9505. Or request service online at mastersindy.com. mastersindy.com.
Crash popped me up. All right, looking at a crash on the south side. It is on the entrance ramp from Keystone Avenue to northbound 65. The ramp is open. It is partially blocked. Inbound 69, wide open from State Road 37 to 465 on the northeast side. No problems there, Fishers. Just 4 minutes down from State Road 37 to that interchange. And then continuing on Benford Boulevard, 13 minutes to Meridian Street Penn as you head in the inbound direction. Have a safe morning. I think it's going to be beautiful sunrise as we progress here. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage for a limited time. Go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Marcus Bailey, Wish TV meteorologist. What are you doing?
Hey, Tony. Good morning. Happy Monday, too. Coming off a beautiful weekend. Should be pretty nice again today. We're partly cloudy this morning. There might be a scattered shower or thunderstorm possible this afternoon, but many dry areas, so nice temperatures. Today's high around 75. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, quiet, mild, low of 61. We'll do it again Tuesday. Partly cloudy in the morning. A few showers and storms possible Tuesday afternoon, a high of 75. Wednesday, partly cloudy, maybe a stray shower, a high of 81. Thursday, partly cloudy, hot and humid, and a few strong storms possible Thursday night. Thursday's high, 88.
Did you just say humid?
Humid, like real muggy, yeah.
We get one actual spring weekend, and we're now into humidity.
And now it's summer. Welcome to summer. That's correct. Yep.
God, this whole place sucks.
That's actually the longest spring I think we've ever had, too, around here. For a while, anyway.
2 days?
Yeah, 2 days.
Yeah,
I'll have to double-check the record books, but I think that's pretty close, yeah.
Yeah, you might want to dig into the data there.
That's right.
Marcus Bailey, Wish TV meteorologist. Appreciate you. Right now it's 60 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:07.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
What was a very positive process. We have reached an agreement on a 90-day pause and substantially moved down the tariff levels. Both sides on the reciprocal tariffs will move their tariffs down 115%. We had very robust discussions. Both sides showed a great respect to.
So that was the announcement this morning in Switzerland as the United States met with China to discuss trade, a reduction of 115%. So there will be a 30% tariff on goods from China. China will lower its tariffs to 10%. The markets have responded by going up 900 points in the futures. But it's not a deal. It's a temporary pause that will just lead to what? I have no idea. Look, if the hey, we don't have these tariffs, hey, we're going to add massive tariffs, now we're just going to have 30% tariffs, and that's a win? Well, hope springs eternal, I guess. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. It's not a breakthrough. I don't even know how you report it as a breakthrough. We didn't have the tariff. We added 145% tariffs. Now we have 30% tariffs, and we don't have a deal yet. Okay. But 30 is better than 145. Buy 115, so take it. Take it. Run like the wind. No idea what a deal can look like. And that should be kept in everybody's minds. It's China. What are you going to do? You think that it's all just going to work out smooth? Trust that anything they say is going to actually happen? Oh, hell no. It's not the way it works. Can't trust China in the slightest. But the markets are going to celebrate this. I hope it's good for everyone's 401ks. The best I can offer right here. There is a bunch to get to, including the not-so ceasefire between India and Pakistan, release of another American from Hamas, which sadly might be the last release we see. And the insurrectionist lawmakers in New Jersey. Throw some people in jail. I've got all of those stories coming up. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
This is Gary Dick. Momentum in the motorsports sector at 632. Brought to you by IBJ's 20 in their 20s. Know a young person making a big impact? Nominate by May 23rd and learn more at ibj.com/nomination.
It's the Bash Sale, the biggest automotive sale in history. Your local Bill Estes dealerships are coming in hot with deals on trucks you don't want to miss. We have a huge selection of trucks at one easy online stop. Brand new Chevy, Ford, GMC, Jeep, Ram, and Toyota trucks with a massive pre-owned selection too. Plus, our fair and direct upfront pricing means what you see is what you pay. Shift into savings during the Bash Sale. Only at Bill Estes dealerships, and drive away in your dream truck today. Online at BillEstesTrucks.com.
Pat Sullivan here for Gutter Helmet. Are you still putting screens on your gutters? If the holes are too big, debris gets in, and you're still cleaning your gutters. If the holes are too small, it sits on top, and now you're cleaning the screens. I have Gutter Helmet on my home, and it has no holes, slots, or screens. It keeps the debris out and the water in. Since 1981, Gutter Helmet has been America's #1 choice for gutter protection. Right now, Gutter Helmet is offering a 19% discount, plus, get this, 12 months no interest financing if paid in full within 12 months. Give them a call at 800-5HELMET. That's 800-5HELMET to schedule a free estimate. 19% off restrictions apply and cannot be combined with other offers. Call Gutter Helmet today at 800-5HELMET or go to gutterhelmetindy.com and never clean your gutters again.
I was driving to my sister's house and it happened just like that. The guy apparently had been on the phone and just wasn't paying attention. I got 2 bars and 6 screws in my neck now. For the 6-day hospital stay and the 2 surgeries was over $300,000. I just had my husband call Hensley right away. They took care of everything. It definitely happens. So just hire Hensley.
Big Joe here for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical.
With a B&W Premier Club membership, you'll stay ahead of breakdowns and costly repairs. Our members get routine maintenance, priority scheduling, and exclusive discounts, saving you money and keeping your family comfortable all season long. Visit bplusw.com or call 317-214-0108 for more information.
B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard dealer since 1961.
Guys, don't waste time and money with low-quality online TRT that charges you over $100 just to start. Visit the TRT experts at the Low T Center for a free consultation and a free test. Treatment is personalized to your body, and most major insurances accept it. Looking to lose weight? Get a free B12 shot when you start prescription treatment right now at the Low T Center. Offer is limited, but book right now. FixMyLowT.com. That's FixMyLowT.com.
Indy's biggest party is back. Miller Lite Carb Day with 2 headliners. Bret Michaels All-American Rejects. Miller Lite Carb Day, May 23rd at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Concert pit and VIP tickets on sale now at ims.com.
Traffic on the 5s. Matt Bear, what are you doing?
Tony, northwest side, vehicle fire reported Moeller Road north of 30 is something to watch out for if you're on that side of town here this morning. Now, if you're going to the airport from downtown, good morning, ride sharers. Maybe you're taking people from the downtown hotels and using westbound 70. Your entrance from Meridian and West Street looking good right now. Everything is open. You can go westbound 70 without any delays or interruptions. Out to Indianapolis International Airport with that collector, Ronald Reagan Parkway and Ameriplex. No trouble there. 465 on the southwest side leading to westbound 70 at Indianapolis International. No problems as well. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
60 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:16.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in focus and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
She was afraid to come out of the locker. She was as nervous as she could be. She was afraid to
Is the ceasefire between India and Pakistan holding? Well, I guess it all depends if you were somebody who was injured or knew somebody killed in the interim. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. Violations, that's what both nations are saying after the ceasefire. So this was an attack from Pakistani militants, we'll call it, on the Kashmir region that killed 25 and injured 15. India responded with killing 26 Pakistanis, and I believe 40 people were injured. These are two nations that have generational hatreds, and it isn't going to end tomorrow. It's just not. And there is no making it end. All you can get is to some level of détente, right? Some level of hate each other, just don't kill each other. Which is what the United States was getting involved in this for. Whether or not there was real concern of serious escalation, both of these nations being nuclear nations, that remains unknown. But after this ceasefire was brokered by the U.S., there were explosions in Kashmir, both sides saying the other one did it. It's like Spider-Man pointing at each other. One must always keep their eye, because an actual conflict certainly is dangerous for the world. Certainly people like nations like China have to be paying attention. And for a nation that does the level of trade we do with India, and wanting India to be a place that takes on more of the Chinese manufacturing, could mean a harder time getting goods. Just something that you have to pay attention to. Eden Alexander, an American being held hostage in Gaza, is set to be free. His hometown in New Jersey, they have actually taken to the streets in the early morning hours because they want to see this happen. They want to see him returned. Now, if Hamas is hoping somehow to get a reprieve from the United States and maybe not be destroyed. If that's the plan, well, then okay. I can't say that plan is going to work because Israel is going to do what it does. Israeli airstrikes killed 23 in Gaza, as reported by a News Nation via the Associated Press. It's a number that you don't know if you can believe. Anything that's reported in Gaza, anything that's reported by Hamas can't be trusted. But there's a reminder, and for all of the pseudo-intellectuals of Indianapolis and everywhere else, Hamas is a terrorist organization, and Hamas started this. Hamas still has hostages. A year and a half later, what'd you expect? All this talk about genocide and the rest, Hamas is the genocidal desire. Hamas is the genocidal want. They've written it. They've said it. They actually went about doing it on October 7th, 2023. Someone's going to win and someone's going to lose, and it looks like Hamas is going to lose. Tell Hamas to give up the hostages. Tell Hamas to surrender. But they never say that. All of these freaks in Indianapolis and everywhere else. Because they're telling you who they are and what they want. They want Western civilization gone. Which brings about a really weird subject. I mean, certainly it's weird that you would want Western civilization to be gone. The level of ignorance there astounds, but you cannot convince a progressive not to be ignorant. It's a feature, not a bug. When we discuss, for example, what's going on in Israel, the release of this hostage, which I am thrilled by. I want to see all the hostages that are still alive released. Absolutely. I'm thrilled to see Americans coming home. You see that there are people who don't side with an actual level of quote-unquote peace. They only want our destruction. They want the destruction of America, certainly the destruction of Israel, the destruction of Western civilization. You've heard me talk about this before. And we're not debating. Of course, we understand that that's what it is. But some people don't think of it in that way, and that's why we bring it up as a reminder. There was a story about how talking about Western civilization is a MAGA thing. The MAGA movement is no longer just fighting for President Trump. His most fervent loyalists are now engaged in what they see as a battle for Western civilization, a rallying cry for the modern right. What? This is the plan. This was written by Axios. The plan is to talk about the threat to Western civilization as a Trump thing, as that's not true. That's not true. It wasn't true when Michael Walsh was writing about it in The Fiery Angel and The Devil's Pleasure Palace. It wasn't true when it was a conversation talking about terrorism going back to September 11th and going back further. Now we're going to say that talking about a preservation of Western civilization is a MAGA populist thing? Now, some in MAGA who desperately want a quasi-theocracy, oh, yes, those people do exist. That's different. But, dear Lord, we're going to somehow say that asking or defending Western civilization is just Trump people being Trump people? Western civilization is better for everybody who's black, gay, atheist. It's better for all of you. If you're trans and you don't think Western civilization is better for you, you have more mental illness than I thought. If we're now at this moment, well then, my gosh, it's over. Preserving Western civilization is not the new Make America Great Again. Preserving Western civilization is just a good idea. And people opposed to it, very, very dangerous people. Very dangerous. Now, there are still some other stories to get to, and I will get to them, including Trump accepting this jet from the nation of Qatar, and possibly using it for Air Force One. There's a story here, and the story is far different than the reporting. It doesn't make the end feeling change, which is you would accept jets from Qatar and use it as Air Force One? What the bloody heck is going on here? I have got all of that coming up. Open up the phone lines, 317-239-9393. Don't I have tickets to give away there, Producer Carl?
Yes, sir.
I do, don't I? Oh, I have tickets to Carb Day. All-American Rejects, Brett Michaels, Hammer and Nigel are going to be out there on Carb Day. But I don't know who let them do this. I have no idea who let Hammer and Nigel be at the track broadcasting live on Carb Day. Our insurance better be paid up, but I have got 2 tickets to Carb Day. The gates open at 8 a.m. Concert gates open at 2 p.m. Miller Lite Carb Day. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I will take the 5th caller, number 5, 317-239-9393. 317-239-9393. Dear Lord. Carb Day, people. All-American Rejects and Brett Michaels. It's going to be a good time. Matt Bear has traffic. What's up, Matt?
South side, northbound 65 now slowing through the construction. Raymond Street up to the south split. And the closer to the south split you get, the more lanes you lose. So slow down there as you make your way to westbound 70 and the split with northbound 65 70. Also a vehicle fire on the northwest side. This is Moeller Road, north of 30th Street. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, it's Rob.
And this is Casey.
Hope you have a great weekend and a fabulous Mother's Day.
We'll see you back here Monday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
Did you check the markets first thing this morning? Got to the laptop and maybe money was on your mind all weekend. You and I both. It's not easy feeling secure with our financial portfolios right now, and that's why we need Trajan Wealth. Matt Bear here. What's up? Trajan Wealth wants to make your money about you, your retirement hopes and dreams, and can help get you there. Call and schedule an appointment at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Your first consultation is free. Trajan knows every portfolio should be different. Your retirement goals may not look like mine, and that's the way it should be. The fiduciary advisors at Trajan want to assemble that retirement portfolio by getting to know you first. It's a Hoosier concept to the core. Call today and learn more about these strategies. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions, Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-757-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
As a high school student athlete, it makes a difference when the stands are filled with cheering fans.
I'm Reed Robinson from New Prairie High School.
And I'm Autumn Rife from North White High School. It motivates us to do our best when we know our entire school community has our backs.
When they understand the real purpose of high school sports.
When they remember learning life lessons is more important than winning.
When they keep athletic events fun and positive for everyone.
That's what being a champion of high school sports is all about.
Whether you're a parent, fan, coach, official, administrator, or broadcaster, we all have a role to play in championing high school sports.
Thank you for supporting our schools, our communities, and our student athletes.
I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support the mission of education-based athletics by buying a ticket to your high school's athletic events. This is being a champion of high school sports. This is preserving the second classroom. This is your IHSAA.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It left many in a state of disbelief. Cloudy and 59 in downtown Indy, and 76 is the high today. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 6:31. The Indiana Pacers clobbered the Cleveland Cavaliers Sunday night to win Game 4 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, 129-109. Here's part of what the first half sounded like on the Pacers radio network with Mark Boyle.
Into the forecourt, Neesmith. Turner is feeling it, and why not? Why not? Why not? A three from 2 miles away, out on the left side. This cannot possibly be happening.
The Pacers scored 80 points in a half, which is a franchise postseason record. More on this coming up in sports in a moment. Trade taxes will be slashed as a result of the new trade deal between the U.S. and China. Fox's Jonathan Savage.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says it starts with a 90-day pause and a substantial drop in the levels of reciprocal tariffs.
Both sides on the reciprocal tariffs will move their tariffs down 115%.
The trade war between Washington and Beijing has disrupted the global economy and upset financial markets. Speaking in Geneva, Switzerland, Secretary Bessent said talks will continue to rebalance the trade relationship between the U.S. and China. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Fake pizza orders have been sent to the homes of federal judges, and that's got them concerned. It started happening in February, and investigators believe the number of unsolicited deliveries could be in the hundreds. Most of the judges targeted have been involved in high-profile cases challenging Trump administration policies, so the U.S. Marshal Service thinks this may be an intimidation tactic. A naked man walking through a public park has been arrested by Evansville police. They say a man named Craig Keeling was carrying his clothes in his hands when walking in the woods by the parking lot, and a witness said Keeling was touching himself while motioning at them to join him Saturday afternoon. Police say he later admitted to them that he was partaking in voyeurism. He's in the Vanderburgh County Jail now. And a new AI tool developed at Mass General Brigham can tell you how old you look biologically. It's called Face Age, and it analyzes your face using a headshot to estimate your biological age and your risk for cancer. Researchers say they've discovered that most cancer patients, for instance, look 5 years older than their healthy peers. Face Age promises the same results as genetic DNA tests using only a selfie. Traffic, weather, and sports all coming up in a moment.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Gary Dick. Look for an announcement from Roche Diagnostics this morning. No details on what it will be, but earlier this month, Switzerland-based Roche announced plans to invest $50 billion in the United States over the next 5 years, a move that will include investment in new plant and improvements in states including Indiana. The former CEO of the United States Auto Club says Indiana's motorsports industry is enjoying as much growth and momentum as he has ever seen.
When we stop and think about it, when we look at what Andretti, TWG Global, Cadillac is doing to bring Formula One here, this will truly be the only U.S.-based Formula One team. The impact of that is so significant between the new facility in Fishers, what they're doing on the north side of Indianapolis with the former Star Printing facility, and then we have a new IndyCar team called Prema, which has come from Italy. We're adding almost 800,000 square feet of additional race shop, primarily on the north side of Indianapolis.
That's motorsports industry insider Raleigh Helmling. For the first time in 5 months, Indiana's revenue collections fell short of the most recent projections. The Indiana State Budget Agency said Friday general fund revenues in April totaled $3 billion, which was $51.5 million lower than the revised April 2025 forecast, or 1.7%. From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio.
At Indiana University, we're undaunted by challenge. We take the lead. We don't follow the crowd. Embracing the future with creativity and bravery. Unapologetically optimistic. Equipped with the knowledge and intention to change the world. Because bold is who we are. 9 campuses, 1 purpose. Creating tomorrow, today. Indiana University. Bring on tomorrow. Join us at iu.edu.
In May, we're shifting into high gear with full throttle coverage of Business at the Brickyard, presented by Liuna. From the boardroom to the backstretch, get the inside track on how motorsports fuels the Hoosier economy. We'll put you inside the driver's seat with exclusive stories from around the state and an all-access pass to the historic Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So buckle up and join us for Emmy Award-winning Business at the Brickyard coverage in May. Brownsburg-based State Bank has acquired a historic building in LaPel with plans to renovate it into a full-service banking center. While details of the financial investment in the project are not known, the bank says it expects to add up to a dozen jobs when the new branch opens. The building had been used as the LaPel Town Hall, but a spokesperson for the bank says the town has found a new location which allowed for the acquisition. This is Gary Dick for 93 WIBC.
Vehicle fire on the northwest side. It's Moeller Road, north of West 30th Street. Not really causing us any problems here at the moment as we check that out. And south side, northbound 65 slow from Raymond Street up to the south split. That's because of road construction. Traffic sponsored by Indiana Donor Network. This may be a hero at the finish line. Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives remind you to say yes to organ donation the next time you're at the BMV. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
60 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:37. We check on sports. And John Herrick, what do you know?
Well, Tony, sports on WIBC brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. Indiana Pacer guard Tyrese Halliburton says he was pleased with the way his team handled their business in the win over the Cleveland Cavaliers Sunday night.
Obviously, the first half was pretty amazing, the shot making, and I thought we were really good on the defensive end. You know, we still got a lot of work to do.
Game 5 is tomorrow night in Cleveland at 7 o'clock. The Pacers can win the series with another victory, which would send them back to the Eastern Conference Finals for a second straight year. As for the Indiana Fever, they closed out the preseason with an 81-76 win Sunday over the Atlanta Dream. Fever head coach Stephanie White spoke after the win about what she hopes to continue seeing.
Obviously, you want to win. You know, winning it gives you a different kind of vibe, a different kind of feel. But more than anything, we want to see growth.
They start the regular season this Friday against Chicago. And Alex Palou won the Sanzio Grand Prix this weekend. That's his 4th win in the season's first 5 races. Practice for the Indy 500 starts tomorrow. I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Race into Pierce Jewelers in Carmel and make a pit stop to purchase that unique diamond engagement ring that will put you in the winner's circle. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Yeah, the Pacers are just unbelievable. That was abusive last night. And I don't know where I heard it. It must have been on X. The call from that game in the first half, just bucket after bucket, being up 40. What is happening here? What's going on here? It was something else. Tony Katz at 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. Pacers 129, Cavaliers 109. And it wasn't that close. It truly was not that close. This was incredible how well they played. So much so that Charles Barkley is putting out the tweets, putting out the statements. I'll see you all in Indy next week. St. Elmo's, get the steak ready. Well done, filet mignon. But he doesn't pronounce it filet mignon. He pronounces it filet minions. Oh, Charles. Oh, Charles. The problem is he said, well done. I don't care who you are. I'm not putting up with this. Well done fillets? What are you, out of your skull? Now, Matt Glesenick, who's over there at the Indy Star, responded by saying a well done fillet is criminal. Criminal. To which he responded, I'm trying to do it medium well, but it ain't going to be rare. It's not going to be rare. It's not going to happen. St. Elmo's has responded by saying, we'll have those filet minions ready for you, Charles. I'm not going to tell you not to go to St. Elmo's, Charles Barkley. I'm not going to tell you not to go to St. Elmo's and have an absolutely fantastic time. I'm going to tell you, where else do you want to go? What else do you want to eat while you're here? Because if you're going to do a food tour, Charles Barkley, of Central Indiana, my name is Tony Katz, and I am the only person qualified to help you. We're going to stop by Hank's Smoked Briskets. We're going to stop by Big Hoffa's Barbecue. We're going to stop by Kaplinger's, right, for the fish. We're going to do all the things. I've got so many places to take you. You will be so full you might not be able to call the games. Don't get me wrong. St. Elmo's has got to be on the list. Undoubtedly true. We have so many places that you have to be. So many things that you have to try. It's just madness. So don't you dare eat a well-done filet. Don't ever eat a well-done steak. Oh, don't tell me about anything else. I understand cultural differences, right? You grew up poor. You cooked the meat very well to ensure there's nothing wrong with it because you didn't know how fresh it was. I understand every bit of it. That ain't today. And you don't do it when you don't have to. But there's a lot more. You should be at St. Elmo's. There's a lot more to Indy than St. Elmo's. And if you want the food tour, Sir Charles, Chuck, I don't know what he goes by. We got you covered. Just ask. We will put you in the cigar smoking van. I have already got the limo driver ready to go, and we will take you to the finest spots Indianapolis has to offer that you have never heard of. Just the offer's there, man. First, let's get to this to the conference finals. Then the offer's there. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Your cash is waiting for you, and that's because of IndianaUnclaimed.gov. Here's how it works. You have cash, and it's waiting for you. But you don't really know why you have the cash. But it turns out that a former employer was trying to send you that last paycheck. And there might be a dividend from a stock, and they didn't know where to send it. So it ended up with the Attorney General's office. And the Attorney General wants to make sure you get what's yours. It's not free money. It is your money. And this is what IndianaUnclaimed.gov does. You can actually text my name, Tony, to 46220 and find out everything. See how easy it is to get your cash. It's waiting for you. You've got the Attorney General reuniting with Hoosiers with over $1 million each and every week. So easy to do. Fast, easy, free. Nothing could be more simple. IndianaUnclaimed.gov. Text Tony to 46220. It's fast, easy, and it's free. Or go to IndianaUnclaimed.gov. IndianaUnclaimed.gov. Go get your cash.
Another update is just minutes away.
And I know I can rely on each and every one of you to walk with me. Pope Leo XIV. As we continue as a church.
First American Pope from Chicago.
Hear the news.
Former daycare worker, sexually explicit material.
As events happen.
Gabriel Garner.
We'll happen to be there.
Taking those pictures and sharing the child pornography.
On the level, on the go.
Playoff series with the Cavs.
A lot of movement, flying around.
93 WIBC Mobile News.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-757-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
Traffic on the 5s. Matt Bear, what are you doing?
Well, Tony, on the east side and looking at a medical emergency that just came down. All right, it's northbound 465 at Washington, and I see the left shoulder blocked right now. No delay at the moment. There's going to be a little bit of a slowdown, so please watch out for this. Again, northbound 465 at Washington Street, left shoulder is blocked. South side northbound 65, now stop and go traffic after South Keystone Avenue to the south split. We lose lanes the closer to the south split we get. And a vehicle fire. Moeller Road, north of 30th. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, polycast, aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
60 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:46.
When you golf in Missouri, the courses are so close, you'll spend more time on the fairway than the freeway. After the back nine, enjoy world-class dining and distilleries, shops, spas, museums, and more. Find your new golf MO at visitmo.com.
Hey, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct, and May is officially the kickoff to home improvement season. And right now, during their home improvement season sale, you'll get an incredible 50% off your windows. Yes, half off. You heard right. You can upgrade your home with beautiful, energy-efficient windows for half the cost. But it gets even better. For a limited time, you'll get no interest and no payments for 12 months. That's a whole year to enjoy your new windows before you pay a single cent. And here's the cherry on top. You'll receive a free entry door with your window purchase. Now, some restrictions may apply, so to get all the information and schedule your free in-home estimate, call Universal Windows Direct today at 317-659-7574, 317-659-7574. Universal Windows Direct's home improvement season sale. Half off your windows, no interest, no payments for 12 months. 317-659-7574. Tell them Rob sent you.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 463-251-1912. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 463-251-1912. That's 463-251-1912.
The news everyone's talking about. You'll find it at WIBC.com. The latest from City Hall, the White House, or the State House. Updated all day. Don't miss what matters. Stay in the know while you're on the go at WIBC and WIBC.com.
Hi, Jeff Roush for Tom Roush Lincoln. Right now, get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators, up to $8,000 off select 2024 Nautilus, or up to $7,000 off select 2024 Corsair at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP $105,575, Nautilus MSRP $61,995, Corsair MSRP $47,820. Offers good through May 31st, 2025. Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Ellis, I'm going to start with you. Your Democrat strategist, Anthony Coley, who worked for the Biden administration, recently told The Hill, every time Joe Biden emerges, we fight an old war. Every interview he does provides a contrast to Trump. That's just not helpful for the Democrat brand, which needs trusted messengers and fighters who can reach independents and moderates and inspire debate. Joe Biden ain't that. What's your reaction?
That's a silly opinion. I mean, what, the guy's supposed to shut up? Listen, he's an old guy. He's going to sound like an old guy. He's Joe Biden, and I don't know. I don't think he needs to go and lock himself in a closet. Frankly, I'm a lot more concerned than the issues of the former president of the current one, who doesn't seem to know the answer to anything.
This was the response. I'm there Sunday morning on Newsmax. I'm back to the live stream. I'm back to doing TV. The sling or no sling, the show must go on. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. The voice you hear is that of Ellis Hennigan, and doesn't want to admit to the fact that when Biden shows up places, it's bad for the Democratic Party. It's a reminder that they lied about his well-being, about his capability, and about his aptitude. He refuses to acknowledge this, as we have discussed, and Ellis is a great example. His name is Ellis, E-L-L-I-S. A great example of these people who refuse to learn. They flat out refuse to learn, right? We argue it's not that they can't learn, it's that they won't learn. No, it's not that they won't learn, it's that they can't learn. They refuse. Why discuss the fact that Biden is bad for the Democratic Party? That none of these people have a voice that connects. Rather, Trump this, that, and the other, and he's an old man, and all the things, and all the jazz. And, yeah.
Is rambling and seems confused and keeps saying, let the other people do it. I'd be more focused on that, but I don't know. I don't really care whether Joe Biden wants to give an interview or not.
Okay, so Ellis thinks we need more Joe Biden and that he shouldn't lock himself in the basement like he did in the campaign. All right, Tony, what's your response?
Hey, wait a second. That's not what I said.
Wait a second.
Come on.
You did.
That's
exactly what you said. You said don't lock yourself in anymore.
Talks.
So he can't. There's no part of him that isn't going to engage in some kind of jumping in, etc. This was me.
You did. Tony,
Ellis, with all due respect, your answer sounded like you were doing a Joe Biden impression. It made no sense whatsoever. And it does matter because America knows that the country wasn't run by Joe Biden for at least 2 years, maybe 3 years, and maybe the whole time. And there are still people who are part of that apparatus who want to come out and talk about Donald Trump, but not discuss that they covered up Joe Biden. There's an entire media apparatus that doesn't want to discuss that they covered up Joe Biden. That entire cabinet knew Joe Biden was incapable, was not running the country, and they said nothing. So this tour that he's doing, whether it's the BBC interview or the View interview, why in the world are they putting him in front of a camera? His family clearly hates him, but clearly they also need the money, whether it's for a library or Lord only knows what else. It was embarrassing, and only the useful idiots of the View, and I mean the term literally here, could allow that to happen and think, hey, that was pretty great. I think that's an accurate response. I think I'm on to it. An accurate response is Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, talking about property taxes when asked a question.
No, you should own your property free and clear. I think to say that someone that's been in their house for 35 years just has to keep ponying up money, that is not. You don't own your home if that's the case. So yes, of course, I'd like to see people be able to owe free and clear. And it's interesting because it's like if I go to Best Buy and buy a flat screen TV and put it on the wall, I got to pay a sales tax on it, right? But I don't keep paying tax on it every year. I mean, it's just not. That's not how we do things. It's like, okay, if you're going to tax something, you tax it at the transaction, and then let people actually enjoy their private property free and clear of the government. So that, I think, is the vision. That's the philosophical insight. And if you think about our founding fathers, when they were proposing the Constitution, in one of the Federalist Papers, I think it was Hamilton, he's writing about, because, there was opposition to the Constitution. They were making a more powerful federal government than under the Articles of Confederation, and people worried about taxation. And they didn't have, obviously, a 16th Amendment, which eventually came on income tax, but basically that you were not effectively allowed to do any direct taxation. It had to be indirect, meaning you couldn't just, you could theoretically just apply like a tax on land federally, but
You're right. We never ever should think about electing somebody who has a good philosophical argument and an understanding of history. Absolutely. We shouldn't vote for them just because they're not cool. And for Indiana Republicans, that's why we shouldn't have property taxes. You're the supermajority. What are you waiting for? Matt Bear has traffic. What's up, Matt?
Yeah, Tony on the east side, southbound 465 at Washington Street. This is a medical emergency, and it's blocking the left shoulder right now, causing a slowdown not quite to I-70. South side, northbound 65, slow after South Keystone Avenue into the south split. That is because of road construction. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their great selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon grills, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
There sure are a lot of memories in that house. It's where you celebrated years of anniversaries and birthdays, where you watched the kids grow, where you relaxed in your retirement. You love it right down to the scuff on the dining room floor and that sticky window in the bedroom. But now the stairs are getting harder, the lawn, the cleaning, the repairs, it's just too much to keep up. And you know it's probably time to downsize. But the thought of getting the house ready to sell is overwhelming. It's time to learn about Simple Quarters. They'll buy your house as is. No repairs, no worries. They handle everything. You take what you want, and you leave the rest. They're a Christian company, so they understand the emotional ties, and they'll be respectful of your memories and feelings as they help you simplify your life. If you're considering downsizing and want a hassle-free way to sell your home, call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME, or go to simplequarters.com.
Pat Sullivan here for Gutter Helmet. Are you still putting screens on your gutters? If the holes are too big, debris gets in, and you're still cleaning your gutters. If the holes are too small, it sits on top, and now you're cleaning the screens. I have Gutter Helmet on my home, and it has no holes, slots, or screens. It keeps the debris out and the water in. Since 1981, Gutter Helmet has been America's #1 choice for gutter protection. Right now, Gutter Helmet is offering a 19% discount, plus, get this, 12 months no interest financing if paid in full within 12 months. Give them a call at 800-5HELMET. That's 800-5HELMET to schedule a free estimate. 19% off restrictions apply and cannot be combined with other offers. Call Gutter Helmet today at 800-5HELMET or go to gutterhelmetindy.com and never clean your gutters again.
Applied Innovation has made a lot of IT directors happy with their managed print services offering. Listen to a few of them talk about Applied Innovation. Chris Pfeiffer, IT Director for Doran Mayhew.
So we were able to reduce the number of machines that we use, but increase their capacity. And then basically we cut our managed print services bill in half by doing that.
Applied Innovation customer Linda Philly Watson, Director of IT at LaSalle Bristol.
The devices are well managed, they're well maintained, well supported, and that's less time for me. More time for me to spend on other projects, on other priorities.
Applied Innovation customer Craig Gilliam, IT Director for Suncoast Skin Solutions.
I think it's just the simplicity of everything. They're quick, fast, and so if you need any help, they're on the spot.
Applied Innovation, office technology made simple, backed by a partner you can trust. Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedinnovation.com.
Millions of illegal aliens crossed our southern border under Biden administration policies. But now, things are changing. This is your Congressman, Jefferson Shreve. I'm committed to securing our borders and to protecting our Hoosier communities. I'm delivering for you. Because of Republican leadership, illegal border crossings are at an all-time low. I'm leading the charge to complete the southern border wall and deport illegal aliens. I'm fighting for Indiana and working for you in Congress.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Don't get suckered into the same old free phone game by Big Wireless. There is a better way. Pure Talk, my sponsor, my wireless company, has a better offer. A brand new free Samsung Galaxy with qualifying plan for $35 a month. You get unlimited talk, unlimited text, 15 gigs of data, all on America's most dependable 5G network. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword Pure Talk for your free Samsung Galaxy with qualifying plan. Pure Talk, wireless by Americans for Americans.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, the opportunity that's in front of the Indiana Pacers, how an act involving ships could affect you, and a musical act you may know well will soon be coming to Indianapolis. Those stories and more after Fox News Radio. You are listening to 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's now 7 o'clock.
The U.S. and China make a deal. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. After a trade war that halted a lot of imports and exports.
We have reached an agreement on a 90-day pause.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, after weekend talks in Switzerland, also says that pause is bringing tariffs way down.
The U.S. reduces from 125% reciprocal tariff on all Chinese goods down to 10%. China likewise reduces their retaliatory levy on goods to 10% from 125%. But that separate 20% tariff related to fentanyl, that stays in place until I'm assuming the Trump administration feels there's meaningful change.
That's Fox Business Network Cheryl Casoni. That deal could lead to a stock market rally. Dow futures up almost 1,000 points right now. We're waiting on another hostage release from Gaza this morning in what Hamas says is a gesture trying to get another ceasefire with Israel. It'll set Idan Alexander free, the last living American who's been held captive more than a year and a half.
Idan was born in Tel Aviv but raised in New Jersey. The 21-year-old lone soldier was serving in an elite infantry unit in the Israeli military on the border with Gaza when he was captured by Hamas during the October 7th massacre.
That's Fox's Lucas Tomlinson in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, where President Trump will head later today on a trip to the Middle East. But before he leaves this morning, the president's going to sign another new order.
The president posted on Truth Social Sunday, drug prices in the U.S. are sometimes 5 to 10 times more expensive than they are in other countries. President Trump said he's going to be signing an executive order to cut drug prices.
Fox's Jill Nato. Russia launched another drone attack into Ukraine overnight after rejecting a 30-day ceasefire proposal. But there are potential direct talks between the warring countries Thursday in Turkey. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has challenged Russian leader Vladimir Putin to meet face-to-face. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They won and made some history in the process. It's cloudy and 59 degrees on Monument Circle with rain possible this week. I'm John Herrick, and this report is brought to you by the Michaelis Corporation. Here's what's trending at 7:02. At Gainbridge Fieldhouse on Sunday nights.
Neesmith attacking. He got to the baseline. Turner with it. 3 to shoot. 2 to shoot. Oh, my goodness! What is happening here? Oh, my. A 3 from the left side. It's 75 to 37.
The call on the Elevance Health radio network with Mark Boyle as the Indiana Pacers routed the Cleveland Cavaliers 129 to 109. They led by as many as 44 in the game.
We're a pretty significant underdog in every game we've played in this series, and that will continue till the end.
Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle says they need to keep their focus as they head into Game 5, which is tomorrow night in Cleveland. Indiana leads the series 3-1, so they win the series if they win one more time. Shots were fired on the east side of Indianapolis this morning at the intersection of 34th and Arlington. IMPD says 3 people walked into 3 separate hospitals with gunshot wounds, but they're all expected to survive. An incident involving a father on Mother's Day. A man who said he was protesting the Johnson County court system after not being able to see his son for more than a year, drove his truck into the entryway of the Johnson County Juvenile Detention Center at about 11:40 Sunday morning. His name, Jacob Daunt. Dodd had a previous arrest warrant from Shelby County, and for this incident, he's charged with intimidation, criminal recklessness, and criminal mischief. A plane crashed near the Indy South Greenwood Airport Sunday. Jake McDaniel reports.
As the plane was taking off from a runway, it lost power and had to land in the grass over by the Indiana State Police hangar. Greenwood firefighters say it happened after 12 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Only minor injuries were reported, and they say those people that were injured had to go to a trauma center to get checked out. The cause of the crash is still being investigated. Jake McDaniel, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
You may have heard about the Ships for America Act being pushed by Senator Todd Young. Chris Davis reports on how it may affect you directly.
Young says Hoosiers may play a critical part in helping the U.S. rebuild its shipping fleets.
One could imagine someone being trained either for the merchant marine or skilled trades so that they can help us revitalize our naval power.
He tells Wish TV's All Indiana Politics that the goal is to rebuild shipyards so that more ships that ship goods all over the world will be owned by U.S. companies, and we will not be dependent upon China's large fleet to do that. He believes you could benefit with some jobs that may be directly related to the shipbuilding business here in Indiana. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And coming soon to Indianapolis are the Isley Brothers. They'll be performing at the 4th Annual Legacy Fest concert on June 20th at 8:30. That song, Shout, is their first single to chart on the Billboard Hot 100 and sold more than 1 million copies. They've sold over 18 million units in the United States alone. I'm Sean Herrick on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. 7:05 with traffic on the 5s. Matt Bear.
All right, John, Southside, northbound, 65 slow, Raymond up to the south split. Lanes are reduced when approaching the south split because of road construction. On the east side, the medical emergency cleared the left shoulder on southbound 465 at Washington. We are good to go there. Vehicle fire, Moeller Road, north of 30th. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Tara Hastings, Wish TV meteorologist. What's going on?
Hey, good morning. Well, we've got temps in the 50s right now with mostly cloudy skies. At times, we'll see a little bit of sunshine here and there throughout the day today, but we are going to look for a chance for some spotty showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder possible as well. Highs will be in the mid-70s. Tonight, we'll dry out. We'll go with partly cloudy skies. It'll be fairly mild with lows only falling to 61. On Tuesday, more showers and maybe a few thunderstorms possible into the afternoon with highs in the mid-70s. And a partly cloudy sky on Wednesday. Maybe an isolated shower with highs right around the lower 80s.
That is Tara Hastings right there of Wish TV. Tara, appreciate you as always. 60 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:07.
This hour on WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, designers of fine custom jewelry.
What is going on in Lockerbie Square? I was writing a post to Charles Barkley, but he's not on Twitter. If he's gonna come to Indy, he's got to have more than St. Elmo's. This is not me knocking St. Elmo's. No. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. I've got the cigar limo ready. The cigar is curated. The must-eat restaurant selected. Charles Barkley joined St. Elmo. Then let me take you on a must-eat food tour of Indy. I've got it. I came up with it. I'm ready. Good to go. This because the Pacers are out of their minds, up 3-1 over the Cleveland Cavaliers, and this could mean an Eastern Conference Finals right here in Indy. This is fantastic stuff. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. And yes, Charles Barkley talking about St. Elmo's publicly. Great for us. Great for St. Elmo's, but great for all of us. Fantastic stuff. The story is about vandalism in Lockerbie Square. IMPD saying that they've received a dozen reports of slashed tires and shattered windows. North College Avenue, Lockerbie Square. There is a feel from some residents, as reported by Wish TV, that the vandalism incidents are underreported. Why would they be underreported? And are we saying underreported, or are we saying that they're not being responded to? Like maybe other areas would have things responded to. I mean, there's a difference between the two. They hit like 20 or 30 cars between on College Avenue into Lockerbie Square, according to one resident. That is a lot. And so I mean, I'm not here to engage a blame game. This is a curiosity. Do police not respond to the area? I mean, I'm not. That is not accusatory. I'm just. It's a curiosity, because that seems to be the argument, that there's no response that takes place to the area. I don't know if that's true or not. And while that's happening, we had the story at WIBC.com that a homeless man was stabbed in the back of the head near the Circle, downtown Indianapolis. These are not the stories you want if you're going to be hosting an Eastern Conference Finals. And these are not the stories that you want even if you're not going to be hosting an Eastern Conference Finals. And I would much rather host an Eastern Conference Finals, for sure. So, just as a reminder, things are not great when it comes to crime in Indianapolis, in Marion County. It's just a problem. And the law and order guy doesn't have a plan. We should be clear about this. Clear that he has no plan. He never had a plan. That was a lie. That things might be getting better overall. Gosh, I hope so. I want that for the city. But I am curious about whether or not there's an issue with responses to Lockerbie Square. Very much so. I'd love to answer that question. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. I'm here with Michaela to talk about water damage. Water damage at your home or business can come from heavy rains, broken or frozen pipes, and countless other ways. Michaela, if someone has a loss due to water, why should they call Michaelis?
Michaelis is a local, family-owned Indianapolis company with 39 years experience. We are manning the phones and ready to help 24/7, 365. Michaelis specializes in water damage restoration, is IICRC certified, and will restore your home or business to pre-loss condition or better.
I know a big part of getting back to normal is dealing with the insurance company. Can Michaelis help there?
Yes, Michaelis works through the entire process on your behalf to make it easy and give you peace of mind.
If you have water damage, call the Michaelis Corporation. Water, storms, fire, and mold, life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY. That's 844-FIXED-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in focus and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
Life moves fast.
Another new directive from Donald Trump.
President Trump will not be deterred to make our federal government more efficient.
So does the news.
We expect those meetings to take place very soon.
Decisions made today.
I'm not a big fan of the Atlantic.
No threats to national security.
Could impact you tomorrow.
Accountability
and transparency.
What's next?
You never know what's going to happen.
Need to know what happened.
We're already tracking it. Stay in the know while you're on the go on 93 WIBC.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251.
Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Big Joe here for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical.
Summer heat is coming. Will your air conditioner be ready? Don't risk an expensive breakdown. A quick tune-up from B&W catches problems early and keeps your family cool and comfortable. Join thousands of Hoosiers who trust B&W. Call 317-214-0108 or go to bplusw.com today.
B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard dealer since 1961.
Hammer and Nigel Show back at it, 3:06. The biggest stories in Indy. We'll recap the weekend. Guy Relford joins us, 93 WIBC.
Traffic on the fives. Matt Bear, what are you doing?
Looking at northbound 65, slows after Raymond into the south split because of road construction. The closer to the split we get, you start to lose lanes. Also, a vehicle fire on the northwest side. That's Mulder Road, north of 30th Street. East side, the medical emergency cleared on southbound 465 before Washington Street. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping at code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
We have got 60 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:15. The Popcorn Moment brought to you by Booher Remodeling, B-O-O-H-E-R, BooherRemodeling.com. That kitchen, that bathroom, that basement that you want to turn into a home theater, actually have some popcorn in? Yeah, that is the reason to call Booher, B-O-O-H-E-R, BooherRemodeling.com. These are the pros. Their 5-step design process from the consultation to the construction means you know exactly what's going to happen because it's going to happen exactly the way you want it to. With the best materials and the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana, Booher Remodeling for over 2 decades has been taking care of Central Indiana and doing an absolutely incredible job of it. Listening to you, understanding you, and working this process, the system that they've created that ensures you are getting exactly what it is you need, exactly what it is you deserve. Quality work, on time, with a service-oriented attitude. This is what they do at Booher Remodeling, and they stand behind their work with a 2-year workmanship guarantee. Talk to Booher Remodeling today about your kitchen, about your bathroom, or about that basement and turning it into a home theater. If it's inside your 4 walls, Booher Remodeling can help. 317-852-5546. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-852-5546. Booher Remodeling. 852-5546 or online at Booher. B-O-O-H-E-R. BooherRemodeling.com. The Popcorn Moment. Let's go. It's a story you need to hear to believe. Then grab your popcorn because there is more. By the way, I think I may have pronounced the Indy Star writer's name wrong when I was talking about Charles Barkley. Matt Glennis. Excuse me. I think I may have pronounced it wrong earlier, and I apologize for that. I don't know the dude. I'm not going to pronounce the guy's name wrong if I can correct it. In Newark, Democrats were involved in an insurrection. I mean, they were attacking government officials, fighting with government officials, trying to break in to a facility. Representative Ocasio-Cortez can scream all day long that they have the right to go in there. But they don't have the right to engage in a physical fight, do they? We don't actually believe that they have this kind of authority. What happened was that the mayor of Newark, a congresswoman, LaMonica McIver, they tried to get into an ICE detention center. They decided that the ICE detention center was a problem and was an issue, and they were gonna find out what was happening. The Democratic Party is on the side of the illegal immigrant and not on the side of America being safe and secure. If you think this is how you're going to win elections, if this is how you think you're going to bring people to you, I guess be this ridiculous. They are pushing and shoving their way in, and they're pushing and shoving ICE agents, government agents, just like what happened to the Capitol Police on January 6th. As a matter of fact, exactly like it, with not a single bit of difference. That's how we play our game, right? That's how we do it, right? This is what they've created, so now this is what we deliver. Okay, got that. Wanted to make sure. And these Democrats, some of whom got arrested, are now saying, how dare ICE, and this is a violation, and this is a move towards autocracy. And here is the mayor of Newark, Raz Baraka, Baraka is his last name, answering a question from Jen Psaki, who we all know is such a truth teller that she was completely honest about Joe Biden's mental decline.
Thought about taking any legal action in light of what took place today and what happened to you?
Well, I mean, we're going through this process now, and obviously I will confer with my lawyers to figure out what's the best pathway forward on this. I think they completely violated my rights. I'm the mayor of the city. I have the right to go anywhere in this city, particularly in places where I think our laws are being violated.
What do you mean you have the right to go anywhere? I have a home in Newark. You have the right to enter my home? I have a business in Newark. You have the right to enter my business outside of being a customer? What is this guy talking about? And do all Democrats think like this? I'm the elected official. I can do anything. I'm not sure that this is the standard that every Democrat has. What I will tell you is it's a kind of messed up standard to have in general.
I went on up in a driveway with our healthcare inspectors and our fire inspectors early on, and we've been doing that for the last couple of days. They've been ignoring us, and actually the Congress people who have oversight on this went onto the property and tried to get inside, and they made them wait over an hour, and they never got in. Never.
If you want to talk about waiting over an hour, talk to everybody in line right now at a DMV in the state of New Jersey. I grew up in New Jersey. You know why I moved out of New Jersey? I was tired of standing in line. Waiting an hour. That's the crime? These people are nuts. Taking the side of illegal immigrants at all costs and making the claim that somehow America is completely abusive to the people in custody, which is not the case. So the question is that you have these elected officials who engage in this activity. What do? And the answer is you charge them. Of course you charge them. And if you have to throw them in jail, you throw them in jail. How is this a debate? If you were involved in attacking a law enforcement officer, you go to jail. It's not a surprise. This, I think, is this the DHS spokesperson right here? I want to make sure I've got the audio right. No, it's a different one. DHS saying that there are likely more arrests that will be coming. Good. You're not above the law. Remember that? No one's above the law. There you go. But they believe that they are. They are convinced that they are. And if you go to any cable news outlet like this guy being interviewed by Al Sharpton, it's the same old song.
Authorities seem to go directly for Mayor Baraka. And now they're talking about even more arrests. Do you think the strategy of arresting elected officials could backfire?
Well, it's a shocking strategy.
Hold on. The strategy is going after elected officials? No. The strategy that Democrats are employing is engaging in violence against law enforcement. No one went after Democrat officials. Democrat officials engaged in illegal activity. See the spin here. See the lie here. And if you want to talk about going after elected officials, what about the former elected officials you went after, like Donald Trump, with 4 nonsense indictments? But check out the answer. My God, there's nothing easier than being a Democrat strategist.
Well, it's a shocking strategy. In a nation where you have 3 separate and co-equal branches of government, you have an executive branch and a Homeland Security Department that arrested a mayor, is threatening to arrest members of Congress, and just seems to think it can perform like we live in an autocracy where you...
That guy's name is Michael Hardaway. He used to work for Congressman Hakeem Jeffries. No mention of the actions of the mayor and these members of Congress. Just this idea that Trump is on the attack and the executive is an autocratic and on the attack. Listen, Michael Hardaway, if you want to be a liar, you can be. MSNBC will allow that. Shamefully, they'll allow that. We don't. If you're not going to engage the full story, and if you're not going to talk about consequences for actions, you're unserious. Why in the world would I pay attention to you, Michael Hardaway? What's the point? What do you have to offer? Offer something. Then we can discuss it. Maybe we would even want to have the conversation with you. But this isn't offering something. This is nonsense pablum, gruel for a bunch of drooling sycophants who are desperate only to have another story about hating Trump and never, ever care about what the truth of a story is. This is your 1984 moment. You know what the story is, but you feed your audience something different because you don't want them to be able to say, well, they did attack law enforcement. You don't want them to do anything like it. Gross stuff, Michael Hardaway. I don't know you. This is my first introduction to you. But I'm not looking to see your stuff again. MSNBC wants to lie to their audience. That seems obvious. No, it's not seems. That is the reality. Matt Bear's got traffic. What's up, Matthew?
Inbound 69 now slow, 106th Street down 282nd for a 5-minute delay. Northbound 65 slow out of the south side after South Keystone Avenue to the south split because of road construction. Lanes reduced the closer to the south split you get. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden this week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden. See their great selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon grills, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hammer and Nigel show back at it, 3:06. The biggest stories in Indy. We'll recap the weekend. Guy Relford joins us, 93 WIBC.
Greetings, Boomtown. Ever since this neighborhood switched to Xfinity Internet,
The Wi-Fi is booming!
Xfinity combines the power of internet and mobile with one all-in plan.
So we've all got lightning-fast, secure Wi-Fi speeds at home and on the go with Wi-Fi Power Boost from Xfinity Mobile.
You get the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best in-class equipment and unlimited data included. Plus, add an unlimited mobile line.
All for only $40 a month for 1 year. To celebrate this combo, we're mashing our shows together.
It's everything you need all in one plan. Plus, learn how to get a free 5G phone with a premium unlimited line. Now, sit back and relax with the smooth, relaxing sound
of face-melting acid metal!
Brilliant.
Visit Xfinity.com to learn more. Ends June 23rd with paperless billing and autopay to stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet gateway required. Taxes, fees extra. After 1 year rate increases to $110 a month. After 2 years regular rates apply. Actual Wi-Fi speeds vary. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed broadband experience report August 2024.
Premier Deck Coating, the ultimate deck protection. Who are they? Well, they're a sister company of Rhino Shield, and Premier Deck Coating is the product you need if you're tired of applying the same old stain and paint every couple of years to your deck. It's Terry, Stacy, and David and I have a deck that's probably 25 years old. The countless hours and the money that we spend on maintaining that deck never ends. And then we heard about Premier Deck Coating. Family owned, based right here in Indy, and they are going to completely transform our deck with their special formulated product, which repels moisture, scratch resistant in virtually any color that we want, and backed by a 10-year guarantee. No more spending time staining or painting every year. Premier Deck Coating will keep our deck looking great for years to come. Premier Deck Coating can also do fences and pergolas too. For a free quote, call 317-696-4071 or visit premierdeckcoating.com.
Comprehensive cancer care is not just about treating cancer. It's caring for the person behind the diagnosis. It's our team by your side to listen, connect, and encourage, and to celebrate every milestone together. Because at Franciscan Health, your journey is our journey. Your victory is our victory. Your hope and trust in us to provide extraordinary cancer care with the latest advancements, plus a little extra TLC, is our mission. Learn more at franciscanhealth.org/cancercare.
High school sports are a true team sport and not just for the starting lineup. I'm Claire Hack from Jennings County High School.
And I'm Grayson Mealy from Westell High School. That's because every person involved in high school sports is essential.
Each student athlete contributes something unique to the team.
Coaches guide and mentor their athletes on and off the field.
Officials protect the integrity of the sports they love.
Fans unite and cheer for their team as one.
Without any one of them, high school sports simply aren't the same. That's what makes them a true team sport.
It takes everyone coming together to achieve the ultimate purpose, preparing student athletes like us for life.
Whatever role you play, thank you for being on our team.
I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig. Thank you for being a champion of high school sports by buying a ticket to your high school's athletic events. This is rallying around our student athletes. This is being a good teammate. This is your IHSAA.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tony Katz to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Start her engine by racing into Pierce Jewelers in Carmel for that perfect diamond engagement ring that will put you in the winner's circle. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's what he calls a rather summery week. You've got a cloudy sky, and it's a 60-degree morning so far in downtown Indy, with highs today in the upper 70s. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 7:31. No matter where you are in Indiana, it might be best to have the umbrella with you.
Chance of rain and storms each afternoon today through at least Thursday, and then a warming trend through the week.
And Cody Moore with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says temperatures will get into the 80s as the week goes on, but he's most concerned about the severe weather threat on Thursday.
Likely all hazards are on the table, but once we get a little closer and have the details worked out, then we'll be able to get more into the details about who can expect what and when.
In the meantime, he says if you hear thunder roar, go indoors. The Indiana Pacers thrashed the Cleveland Cavaliers Sunday night 129-109 to take a commanding 3-1 lead in the Eastern Conference semifinals. More on that coming up in sports in a moment. The U.S. and China agreed to a 90-day pause in tariffs and to reduce their tariffs by 115% as part of a trade agreement.
Both the Chinese and the United States agreed to work constructively together on fentanyl, and there's a positive path forward there as well.
U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer, the U.S. will maintain 30% tariffs on Chinese goods, while China's 10% tariffs will also stay on goods imported from the U.S. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has told Russian President Vladimir Putin that he wants to meet face-to-face and talk about ending the war between the two countries.
This all came about after President Donald Trump insisted Ukraine throw out their demand for a ceasefire before peace talks take place. The Kremlin's not confirmed or denied if President Putin is willing to take part, but it has rejected a proposal for an unconditional 30-day ceasefire. Overnight, Ukraine reports being attacked by more than 100 armed and decoy drones.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage reporting. The front of the juvenile detention center in Johnson County was wrecked Sunday morning shortly after 11:30. Chris Davis reports on the man who the sheriff's department says is responsible.
39-year-old Jacob Dont is now facing 3 felony charges for slamming his truck into the entrance of the center, and he's been denied bond, says Johnson County Sheriff Dwayne Burgess. Frustrated by not being able to see his son for more than a year, Daunt made a scene with his truck that had Father's Matter plastered on the back. Only the father's point was illegal, and so was the meth dealing he's accused of in Shelby County. He already had a warrant out for his arrest. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A limited number of full-size drivable replicas of the Batman tumbler from Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight trilogy are for sale. There are 10 replicas of the tumbler, a tank-like off-road vehicle available for purchase, sanctioned by Warner Brothers Discovery. The tumblers cost nearly $3 million. They're sold exclusively online through the Wayne Enterprises Experience luxury brand. And sports on WIBC is brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. The Indiana Pacers got back to playing their brand of basketball and beating the Cleveland Cavaliers Sunday night, says Pacer forward Pascal Siakam.
It's going to be us, no matter what. And there's going to be some games where it's going to be tough, but we got to keep our identity and who we are. And it doesn't matter who does what. It's all about, getting the win at the end of it. And
he had 21 points in Sunday night's win. Game 5 is tomorrow night in Cleveland at 7 o'clock on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. The Indiana Fever closed out their preseason with an 81-76 win over the Atlanta Dreams Sunday. They open the regular season this Friday against Chicago. Alex Pillow just keeps on rolling.
It's amazing. We couldn't have started the year better with more confidence or with better momentum. I'm never going to be tired of repeating that I'm here because of the amazing team I have behind. And
that's Pillow talking to the IMS radio network. He won the Sanzio Grand Prix on Saturday, which is his 4th win in his first 5 races of the season. He's the first driver to do that since Dan Weldon back in 2005. Practice for the Indy 500 begins tomorrow. I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. 7:35 with traffic on the 5s. Matt Bear.
Yeah, John, we look at northbound 65 on the south side, and that is slow traffic after South Keystone Avenue up to the south split, and it's because of road construction. The closer to the south split you get, the more lanes you lose. Inbound 69 slows 106th Street down to 82nd for a 5-minute delay. And northbound 465 on the east side slow from I-70 up to Penn Pike. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
We've got ourselves 59 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:36.
Whenever I'm out a wandering, chasing a rainbow dream, I often stop and think about a place I've never seen.
Today on the marketplace, nightmare fuel. It's the only way I could possibly describe it. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. During downtime, I'm clearing my head, getting ready for what's next on the show. I find myself on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm scrolling around. Cool stuff, odd stuff, interesting stuff, strange stuff, weird stuff. I bought, I sold. I've done it all in the Marketplace. The Marketplace segment brought to you by IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's your cash. Go get it. Simple, easy to do. Go to IndianaUnclaimed.gov or text Tony, my name, to 46220 and get your cash. The live stream is happening, by the way. You can head over to the YouTubes and take a look at that, or on Twitter at 93WIBC. It is there. You can see Matt Bear from the WIBC Traffic Center. Producer Carl is there as well. And this, gentlemen, this is... I can say this on air. I had to check. Tickles the Pickle Fidget Pack.
Thank you, Carl.
Tickles
the what?
pickle.
Okay, the pickle. All right. Tickles the
fidget
pack. So there's more than one.
Hey, phrase it.
So what this is, it says these are 3D printed. You get the jar ad set, and 6 pickles fit into it. And so these pickles, a little like they're I think they're gherkins.
Thank you.
What?
Yes, they are.
I'm just saying.
Why, yes, that is a gherkin.
Right? That's what it is.
It's Monday, and that word's funny to me. That's all I can say.
Right? It's not what you would call the smaller ones?
Yeah, I mean, it's the smaller gherkin pickle. It's a kind of, you put on a little charcuterie board,
Right? You could also refer to it as a cornichon.
Yeah. Finger food.
Right. But these pickles have faces.
Yeah, I know.
They have eyes. They have mouths. I think one is wearing lipstick. One is a cyclops. It's a cyclops pickle. That's right. It's a one-eyed pickle.
No problems here. Yeah.
I think what someone has done is they've tried to create a toy. And the toy is these 6 pickles with goofy eyes or angry eyes or one eye, and then it comes in a jar that has also been 3D laser printed, and you keep your pickles in there for safe keeping, because you wouldn't want somebody to inappropriately abscond with your pickles.
If I have a 3D printer, this is not what I'm making. I'm just saying, with that cool technology and expensive technology, I don't know this is the first thing that would come to mind. The pickles are kind of frightening. It's like you bought a toy and then made a toy out of the toy, and then you're going to resell that toy. I'm not saying that happened. I'm just saying that's kind of what it looks like with the faces, the adorable faces on these plastic pickles.
What I'm saying is that this isn't a toy. This is the stuff of nightmares.
Yeah. Well, yeah, obviously.
You open this up, you look at this, and you are going to be thinking about being attacked by pickles all night.
And you will be. It's
the online meme, who would win, the silverback gorilla or 100 men in a fight?
Yeah.
Right? Who will win, you or the 6 gherkins coming to attack you?
My money's on gherkin every time.
Honestly, I'm a little scared.
I'm taking the gherkin.
I'm a little scared of these pickles right here, and I think we all should be. Someone's trying to create a toy, and I do not know. I don't want to take away your dreams. Creator of Tickles the Pickle Fidget Pack. Well, first of all,
That's
the
a
name.
All
right.
That's beautiful.
Tickles the Pickle should be sold at Cirillas.
It is.
Oh.
That's how you knew.
This is something.
And
by the way, to the chat room, a gherkin is not the cat from Captain Marvel. That's a flurkin. That is completely different.
Well done.
Right? And according to Eloise, you get not 1, not 2, not 3, but 6 pickles to tickle.
Are these a suppository?
What?
I don't know. Until I saw the faces, I started looking at it. Like, maybe. Thank you. Maybe
it's a toy.
Maybe it's something to loosen things up, if you know what I mean.
They're plastic toys.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying they are. Don't buy them for that. I'm just saying that's kind of what they. No, it doesn't say that. It doesn't say this loosens things. I'm not saying that's what they're for. I'm just saying that's what they kind of look like, except in a green-faced form.
I'm going to advise no insertion of any kind.
Thank you. No, that's good. No, I'm glad, because I felt bad about saying that, because I don't want people buying these and then using them for that. So
you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to reel the conversation back in, because even I feel uncomfortable.
I'm trying to help.
But I will agree with you. This whole thing is super weird.
I know, right?
This is super weird.
Tickles the pickles.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah. It's up there. If you follow me on the Twitter X at Tony Katz, you'll see it for yourself, and then you'll decide what you want to do with it. It's $10. Not even for $10, Matt?
No. No. Don't even leave these for me for free. I don't need tickles to pickles. I'm not that lonely.
We've got the full listing at WIBC.com of everything we do for the marketplace. We just learned that we lost our sponsor. That's shocking.
Oh, come on.
I don't know how that happens.
Unclaimed Indiana, I love them.
I'm sorry. Nightmare Fuel. Look at them for yourself and you decide. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
This May, you've got a chance to see what an IndyCar driver's dream garage really looks like. WIBC's Tales from the Track, presented by Relay Indiana, takes you inside Graham Ray Hall Performance, a high-octane hangout where racing meets luxury. Hammer and Nigel sit down with Graham for great stories, laughs, and insights from someone who grew up on the hallowed grounds of the IMS. But this backstage pass to speed, style, and surprises is sold out. The only place to register to win tickets is WIBC.com.
Hi, Jeff Roush for Tom Roush Lincoln. Right now, get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators, up to $8,000 off select 2024 Nautilus, or up to $7,000 off select 2024 Corsair at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP 105,575, Nautilus MSRP 6195, Corsair MSRP 47,820. Offers good through May 31st, 2025. Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
It's the Bash Sale, the biggest automotive sale in history. Your local Bill Estes dealerships are coming in hot with deals on trucks you don't want to miss. We have a huge selection of trucks at one easy online stop. Brand new Chevy, Ford, GMC, Jeep, Ram, and Toyota trucks with a massive pre-owned selection too. Plus, our fair and direct upfront pricing means what you see is what you pay. Shift into savings during the Bash Sale, only at Bill Estes dealerships, and drive away in your dream truck today. Online at BillEstesTrucks.com.
Traffic on the fives, Matt Bear. What's going on?
Inbound 69 stop-and-go traffic from 116th Street to 82nd, and that is a delay of 7 minutes. Northbound 65, slow from the south side from South Keystone Avenue up to the south split. That's because of road construction, and the closer to the south split you get, you start to lose lanes. Northbound 465, northwest side slows 86th Street up to 865. East side northbound 465 dragging after Brookville Road up to Pendleton Pike. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their great selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon grills, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
61 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:45.
When it comes to managed network services and IT support, Applied Innovation is at the top of the list for these Applied Innovation customers. Sean Carnahan, Sales Manager for Adventure Homes.
They do all of our computers, so they take care of all of our issues, anything that comes up with our servers, any tech support, software we need, any equipment we need.
Eric Lane, Director of Information Technology for Raleigh Williams Paint Spot.
Applied Innovation has been very proactive, and they've laid out a plan for here is what we look like today, and here's what we want to look like in 18 months and then going forward. So it's the long-term vision that they have that other companies didn't.
Ashley Crane, IT Director for Belmont Beverage.
They're just a really great company that has a lot to offer to a small IT team like ourselves.
Applied Innovation, office technology made simple, backed by a partner you can trust. Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedyinnovation.com.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Hey, who's winning? What? Who's winning? Somebody spinning?
Race fans know the track is loud. For the hard of hearing, this confusion happens every day on the telephone. RelayIndiana.com can help. RelayIndiana.com is a free service that provides telephone access to the hard of hearing, so users have normal phone conversations through relay operators. Relay Indiana also provides free equipment to those who qualify. Enjoy the race and phone conversations. Visit RelayIndiana.com now.
Don't get suckered into the same old free phone game by Big Wireless. There is a better way. Pure Talk, my sponsor, my wireless company, has a better offer. A brand new free Samsung Galaxy with qualifying plan for $35 a month. You get unlimited talk, unlimited text, 15 gigs of data, all on America's most dependable 5G network. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword Pure Talk for your free Samsung Galaxy with qualifying plan. Pure Talk, wireless by Americans for Americans.
I gave it a shot, and I came in and had the procedure done. To me, it was amazing because I don't think I ever breathed that clear. I wish I would have done it 20 years ago.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with national LTE coverage. Go to rapidradios.com and you'll get up to 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO for an additional 5% off.
Get your bidder numbers and head over to the Indiana State Fairgrounds. Tony Katz hits the auction floor live Tuesday for Dana Meekum's 38th Original Spring Classic. Over 3,000 show-stopping vehicles, from muscle cars to classic cruisers.
I was at the Meekum auction just yesterday, taking a look around. Incredible stuff, and we are there live. Tuesday, tomorrow, noon to 3. Doing the show from there. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Stop by, join us, hang out. It's going to be a good time. You'll have to provide your own snacks. I'm sorry. Only so many things I can do. I don't know if I'm allowed to smoke indoors or not, but we're going to find out. We're going to find out for sure. Did I say hello, Tony Katz? Yeah, that's me. Show 93 WIBC, Tony Katz in the Morning News. Good to be with you. President Trump put out a statement yesterday on Truth Social where he wrote, "For many years, the world has wondered why prescription drugs and pharmaceuticals in the United States of America were so much higher in price than they were in any other nation, sometimes being 5 to 10 times more expensive than the same drug manufactured in the exact same laboratory or plant by the same company. It was always difficult to explain and very embarrassing because, in fact, there was no correct or rightful answer. The pharmaceutical drug companies would say for years that it was research and development costs, and that all of these costs were and would be, for no reason whatsoever, borne by the suckers of America alone. Campaign contributions can do wonders, but not with me and not with the Republican Party. We are going to do the right thing, something that the Democrats have fought for many years. Therefore, I am pleased to announce that today, I will be signing one of the most consequential executive orders in our country's history. Prescription drug and pharmaceutical prices will be reduced almost immediately by 30 to 80%. I don't know how he thinks he can do this. I want lower drug costs. I don't know how you do this. The president just signs an executive order. We're taking. I've got a pen and a phone to some pretty great extremes here. He continues. They will rise throughout the world in order to equalize and for the first time in many years bring fairness to America. I will be instituting a most favored nations policy whereby the United States will pay the same price as the nation that pays the lowest price anywhere in the world. Our country will finally be treated fairly, and our citizens' health care costs will be reduced by numbers never even thought of before. Additionally, on top of everything else, the United States will save trillions of dollars. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again." We're just going to have a president say, I'm just going to sign my name and I'm going to say capitalism doesn't exist anymore? Is that what he's saying? Is he saying I don't believe in markets in the slightest? Is he saying that it's simply wrong to recognize that other nations subsidize these things through higher taxes that we don't pay, and therefore we're going to what? Look, you don't have me arguing against paying less for the drug in question, whatever that may be. But some nations have made decisions about how they do things, and they tax at an inappropriate rate in order to do so. Producer Carl letting me know that Big Pharma agreed to it. What do they care? They're still going to get paid. The question that we have to ask ourselves is, at what cost is this coming? What law was created? What new system are we now applying to ourselves here? I'm not interested in this top-down insanity. I'm not interested in this kind of socialized medicine curious world. If this is what populism is and what MAGA is, oh, hell no. No, thank you. This is the kind of thing that would make Bernie Sanders very happy. And so therefore I ask you, is this a good idea? I don't know where the president thinks he gets to do this. And I'm not sure how this plays out. I am absolutely unsure of how this works and how this connects to other things across our economy. But the idea of executive order on lower costs, I know that's not how it works. And therefore, I think we've got a problem. And I don't know if MAGAville is willing to say so out loud, but they better. Matt Bear has got traffic. What's up, Matthew?
All right, hearing about a crash. This is East 30th Street at New Jersey on the east side, and inbound 69 now slowing from 106th Street down to 465. East side, northbound 65 stop and go traffic after South Keystone Avenue up to the south split. Pockets of slow here on westbound 465 north side version from Ditch Road over to 865. Southbound Keystone Parkway coming down from Carmel. A little bit slow this morning from 116th Street down to 465. And inbound 65 dragging just an inch from MLK to 21st. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their great selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
You love spring and indies, so don't spend it painting. Do what your neighbor Mike did. He called Rhino Shield.
Our home is basically a contemporary, and we just started noticing that the paint was just fading and just looked like garbage. We had received a postcard from Rhino Shield, and we decided to take a look at it.
Rhino Shield's formulated for our specific climate here in Indiana.
The process with Rhino Shield and their crew, they were just very conscientious. We had problems in the past with painters. They leave debris and everything. Well, we didn't have that with Rhino Shield.
Way better than paint, backed by a 25-year warranty. Right now, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
The thing about Rhino Shield, the heat gain has been reduced, and we save $70 a month. You don't hear that about any type of paint.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Mecum Auctions returns to the Indiana State Fairgrounds May 9th through 17th for Dana Mecum's 38th Original Spring Classic. Join us for the fun, fast-paced, high-energy Mecum experience. For avid collectors, first-time buyers, and enthusiasts of all ages, there's something for everyone. And with more than 3,000 vehicles up for auction, it's a chance to bring home your dream car. Register to bid and buy tickets now at Mecum.com. That's Mecum.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed mold, mildew, bowing walls, or water in your basement? I hope not, but if you have, your basement is losing the war against groundwater. That's where Indiana Foundation Service comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule your free inspection at indianafoundation.com/row.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-557-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, when you might be seeing some bad weather across Indiana this week, what the defense attorney of a man on death row in Indiana is claiming, and what investigators know so far about a plane crash that happened this weekend. Jake McDaniel gives you the details on that. Those stories and more after Fox News Radio. You are listening to 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 8 o'clock.
A trade war ceasefire. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Between the U.S. and China.
A 90-day pause and substantially move down the tariff levels.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, after weekend talks in Switzerland, the tariffs that had halted a lot of imports and exports will drop way down, both countries slashing them by 115%. So the U.S. will now have a 30% charge on Chinese goods. China's tariff 10% now on American products. And on Wall Street, a stock market rally is brewing. Dow futures are up 1,000 points. We're waiting on a hostage release today from Gaza. As Hamas pushes for another ceasefire with Israel, it'll set Idan Alexander free, the last living American hostage still held captive. He's from New Jersey, but was an Israeli soldier when captured in 2023. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson reads a statement from the Alexander family.
The greatest gift imaginable. News that our beautiful son Idan is returning home after 583 days in captivity in Gaza. We express our deepest gratitude to President Trump, Steve Witkoff, and the U.S. administration for their tireless work to make this happen.
Now, the president is also continuing to push for an end to the war in Ukraine, and now this.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he'll be in Turkey on Thursday and wants Russian leader Vladimir Putin to meet him there to talk directly about ending the war. This all came about after President Donald Trump insisted Ukraine throw out their demand for a ceasefire before peace talks take place. The Kremlin's not confirmed or denied if President Putin is willing to take part.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Before President Trump takes off for Saudi Arabia this morning on a Middle East trip, he'll sign an executive order aiming to lower prescription drug prices. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt just told Fox it's a very big deal
for American families and especially our seniors who have been ripped off by very large and rich pharmaceutical companies.
America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's not only rain you'll have to contend with this week. Some light rain on radar south of Indianapolis right now. Otherwise cloudy and 59 in the Circle City. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 8:02. Scattered showers are expected to fall all across Indiana today, but it also warms up.
And towards the end of the week, we actually might be nearing some record high temperatures in the upper 80s to even near 90 degrees. So that'll be something to look out for as well.
Cody Moore with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says he's also concerned about the potential for severe weather on Thursday. More on your forecast with Wish TV coming up in a moment. Fired up Gainbridge Fieldhouse. That's just some of what the Fieldhouse sounded like Sunday night after the Indiana Pacers dominated the Cleveland Cavaliers in Game 4 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, 129-109. They lead that series now 3-1 with a chance to close the series out Tuesday night. Back in Cleveland, Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle says the approach does not change.
We're going to keep approaching this like we have everything to prove.
and we know people don't believe in us.
At halftime, the Pacers led 80-39. That put 41 points as their lead at halftime, and that is tied for the largest halftime lead in NBA postseason history. The 80 points they scored in the half were a franchise postseason record. Benjamin Ritchie could be put to death on May 20th for killing a Beech Grove cop. Jarrett Lewis reports on the latest claim from his defense attorney.
The defense for convicted cop killer Benjamin Ritchie says he's seeking clemency because fetal alcohol syndrome caused him to have severe brain damage, leading to his criminal behavior. Ritchie is locked up for good for shooting and killing Beech Grove police officer William Toney in 2000. Ritchie's attorney, Mark Kolsecki, says Ritchie just wants a new and fair sentencing.
Any good that he does, he's trying to do with the time that he has left on behalf of Toney.
The Indiana Parole Board will make a recommendation to Governor Mike Braun on whether to grant clemency. Braun has not said which way he's leaning on it. Ritchie's petition to the U.S. Supreme Court seeks to stay his execution. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
2 men shot in a park on the northwest side of Indianapolis Sunday night just after 6 o'clock. It was on East Riverside Drive near Birdsall Parkway. IMPD says both men are stable, but now they're trying to figure out what led up to the shooting. A plane crashes near the Indy South Greenwood Airport Sunday afternoon. Jake McDaniel reports.
Greenwood firefighters say it happened after 12 o'clock. As the plane was starting its flight north from a runway, it lost power and had to make a landing in grass right by the Indiana State Police hangar. Authorities say minor injuries were reported, and those people were taken to a trauma center to get treated. How many people were involved? Well, that has not been reported yet. Officials are looking into what led up to the crash. Jake McDaniel, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
And not only were mothers celebrated on Mother's Day this Sunday, but so were college graduates, like at Indiana University.
I now invite you to move your tassel from the right side to the left side of your campus. Congratulations.
That's IU President Pamela Whitten speaking to the class of 2025 this weekend. I'm John Herrick on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. 8:05 with traffic on the 5s. Here's Matt Baer.
Yeah, John, inbound 69, stop-and-go traffic from 106th Street down to 465. Northbound 65, slow to come up from the south side after South Keystone Avenue into the south split. That is a construction zone. Looking at the east side, northbound 465, slow roll from Brookville Road to Washington Street and dragging just a bit after I-70 up to Penn Pike. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, polycast, aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Tara Hastings, Wish TV meteorologist. What's happening?
Hey, good morning. Not bad out there right now with temps in the lower 60s. Look for a partly to mostly cloudy sky today. There could be a few spotty showers, maybe even a few rumbles of thunder possible as well. Highs today right around 75. Rain comes to an end tonight, partly cloudy, lows near 61. And on Tuesday, partly cloudy, a few showers and thunderstorms possible developing into the afternoon with highs in the mid-70s, lower 80s possible on Wednesday. I think much of the day on Wednesday will be dry, partly cloudy, maybe an isolated storm later in the afternoon.
So I was also told that towards the end of this week, things get like humid, muggy. Is that just Thursday, or is that going to extend into the weekend?
I think especially on Thursday, we could see some heat as well with highs in the upper 80s on Thursday. I think that might be the most humid day of all. So, summer-like feel. Yeah, that's Thursday.
Friday is better?
A little bit better, yes. Mid-80s.
But not the humidity.
Right. Okay. The cold front moves through.
Okay. Oh, well, who doesn't love a good cold front?
I know. Who doesn't, right?
So.
This is spectacular. Did you have a great weekend? Did you love the weather? Oh, spectacular.
Yes, and what I learned is
What's that?
I'm not allowed to have it anymore.
Oh,
you took it away. The weather was fine, and then you said, well, now let's ruin this.
Yep. That's all about me. Yep, that's what I do.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Right. Yes. Correct. It's Tara Hastings right there.
I can just do what I can do. I'm trying.
Okay, well.
Do better. That's what you need.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to tell me, don't you?
Right. As the First Lady would say, be best. Be best.
There you go. I'm on it.
Tara Hastings, Wish TV meteorologist right there. I appreciate you. 61 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 8:08.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
What was a very positive process. We have reached an agreement on a 90-day pause and substantially moved down the tariff levels. Both sides on the reciprocal tariffs will move their tariffs down 115%. We had very robust discussions. Both sides showed great respect.
So the tariffs that were 145% on Chinese goods will now be 30%. And the tariffs from China will go down to 10%. And I'm told that's a deal. Well, it's better than 145%, and that's what the market is reacting to. But there is no deal. We don't have a deal yet. We have a temporary pause, which keep an eye on manipulations of the dollar, won't you? It's the Chinese. Please don't tell me you're going to trust the Chinese. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. There's the story about that. Of course, we were just discussing this executive order from President Trump, which is supposed to be announced a little bit later this morning, that's going to reduce drug prices. And I've got people who are very, very thrilled by this, overjoyed by this, because our drug pricing is not free market as it is, and it needed to change. I just don't know if you change it via executive order. Or if you want to argue that it's cronyism, as Avik Roy was arguing, who's a super bright dude. And some others, and we need to do something about this. I won't argue that there's an issue. I'm simply stating that I don't know if the executive order is the answer. But I would have argued this under any president. And maybe the argument's going to be, this is what they do, now this is what we're doing, and look how much better off we are for it. By having government engage this way and engage a level of price fixing? Well, the price fixing was already happening. So how do you end that altogether? Shouldn't that be the question? Seems to me like that should be the question. That should be the thing that we're trying to answer. We will discuss it more on Tony Katz today at noon, whether or not there's a real argument to be made for this executive order, what exactly is in it, how it works. I'll have that all for you then on Tony Katz today at noon. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
The Voice of Health Minute with Dr. Robert Prather of Holistic Integration. Dr. Prather, what role can structure function play in natural help for stress?
Really, a proper division of healthcare should be 80% of all care should be structure function based. 20% of the care should be disease care based, which is pharmaceutically. And right now, of course, we don't have that. Pharmaceuticals are great for helping with symptoms, but they shouldn't be used in long-term type of use. You have to get the body working correctly to be able to get things healed. And so with structure function care, we're going to be working with the endocrine system. We're going to be working with the nervous system. We're going to stimulate the body to heal so that it can handle the stress. We can actually do this in a natural type of way. So we're getting the body healthy again.
The Voice of Health with Dr. Robert Prather, Sundays at 8 p.m. or anytime at thevoiceofhealthradio.com.
Hey, it's Matt Bear for Cochran Exteriors. Cochran Exteriors. Don't wait to beautify your home for the summer. You can get a fresh new look, new siding by Conklin Exteriors. It's the answer from James Hardy Fiber Cement Siding to a big array of vinyl siding colors and styles. The experienced pros at Conklin have the options to match your house and home, plus a lifetime workmanship warranty, and over 10,000 satisfied customers help your home find the fountain of roof. Call Conklin Exteriors for your free estimate at 317 Roofing or visit ConklinExteriors.com. Tell them I sent you.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in focus and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
Did you check the markets first thing this morning? Got to the laptop and maybe money was on your mind all weekend. You and I both. It's not easy feeling secure with our financial portfolios right now, and that's why we need Trajan Wealth. Matt Baer here. What's up? Trajan Wealth wants to make your money about you, your retirement hopes and dreams, and can help get you there. Call and schedule an appointment at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Your first consultation is free. Trajan knows every portfolio should be different. Your retirement goals may not look like mine, and that's the way it should be. The fiduciary advisors at Trajan want to assemble that retirement portfolio by getting to know you first. It's a Hoosier concept to the core. Call today and learn more about these strategies. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Traffic on the fives. Matt Baer, what's going on?
Well, Tony, looking at northbound 65 slow after South Keystone Avenue to the south split, and that is delayed right now by just 2 minutes. Inbound 69 stop-and-go traffic, 106th Street down to 82nd for a delay of 5 minutes. And now eastbound 465 slows from Michigan Road over to US 31 Meridian. Crash on the east side, 30th at New Jersey. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
63 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time right now is 8:16.
Nothing better than taking the family out to a midsummer baseball game out at Victory Field. And my friends at AAA Hoosier Motor Club can help deliver on some big-time savings. They're partners with the Indianapolis Indians and sponsors of their fabulous Friday night fireworks. And if you're an Indians fan and a AAA member, you get all sorts of perks. $4 off tickets to all home games, plus 10% concessions and Indians Pro Shop discounts.
Yeah, going to Victory Field, always fun. Same with going on a vacation. And AAA members, you save when you have a membership. You get discounts on hotels, rental cars, and even complimentary travel planning. Plus, if you run into trouble out on the road, AAA has you covered. Flat tire, dead battery, run out of gas. AAA is there 24/7, 365, no matter where your travels take you. Join AAA today. Visit AAA.com, call 844-GO, AAA-GO, or stop by your local AAA office.
What is 988?
It's a free 24-hour suicide and crisis lifeline.
And what is a crisis?
Maybe something you experience so often.
You don't even think it's a crisis.
Anxiety over money.
A stressful relationship.
Concerns about a loved one's mental health.
If you are experiencing thoughts of suicide or mental health or substance use crisis, call or text 988.
It's a listening ear.
And it's a way forward.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818.
That's 800-215-6818.
We're seeing investments coming to the United States. I'm happy about that. And they're coming in a host of areas. Biomed being one of those areas. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. Gary Dick joins us from InsideIndianaBusiness.com on the Twitter X at IIB. You've got Roche having a news conference, but we know they are going to be doing a $50 billion investment into the U.S. What can you tell us? What have you heard?
Well, we're trying to put two and two together at this point, Tony. As you mentioned, Roche Diagnostics has called a news conference for this morning here in Indianapolis. We don't know details of what will be released, but, as you mentioned several weeks ago, Roche, the Swiss pharmaceutical giant, announced plans to invest $50 billion in the U.S. over the next 5 years. They anticipated that would create, maybe 12,000 jobs nationwide, about 1,000 with the company, the rest to support the U.S. manufacturing. And in that release, when they talked about that several weeks ago, they talked about expanding facilities and perhaps creating new facilities in places like Indiana, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, California. So new R&D site as well. So a major investment. Indiana part of the plans. We don't know to what extent. We'll see what the announcement is this morning, but a lot of anticipation. Roche Diagnostics North American headquarters is here on the far northeast side of Indianapolis.
So that's just one of a series of stories. The second one is over there at InsideIndianaBusiness.com from Alex Brown right before the weekend. State revenues fall short of revised projections. This is the General Assembly that already said we have a perceived $2.4 billion shortfall. Let's go tax the cigar industry. I take it very personally. I find it very offensive, personally, going after a specific business as opposed to dealing with a problem of projections. This is also this is not a projection. This is a reality based on what they thought the projection would be. Is this all part of the same conversation that the state's going to take in less money? And are there going to be some level of conversation about special sessions to talk about more possible cuts, about tax increases? What are you hearing about this?
Well, I don't know about that, Tony, but you're right. It is part of the conversation, ongoing conversation. As you mentioned, the biennial state budget that ultimately passed was pared down to a great extent because of the projections when it comes to revenues. As you mentioned, for the first time in 5 months, Indiana revenue collections fell short of those most recent projections. April numbers about $51.1 million to be exact, lower than the revised April forecast, about 1.7% lower. So obviously cause for continuing concern fiscally and what's going on nationally from a macro level with the economy and the potential, the prospect. We'll see what happens. Is recession in the game plan? But obviously, states like Indiana are taking a hard look at it and may face some difficult decisions.
Talking to Gary Dick from InsideIndianaBusiness.com on the Twitter X at IIB. The recession conversation, it goes almost any way somebody wants it to. You take a look at the reduction now on the tariffs to China, and they'll say recession's off. Everything's going to be back to normal. This announced in the early morning hours, 115% reduction on the tariffs. So we will have a 30% tariff on Chinese-made goods. China will have a 10% tariff based on American-made goods. The immediate response is thank goodness, or is the immediate response, well, that's nice, but what's the deal going to be like, and will it take a full 90 days for it to happen?
I think a little wait and see attitude perhaps there, Tony, to your point. as to how this, the particulars of what ultimately will be a deal. I think obviously the markets like it. Certainly, the Dow futures across the board up substantially this morning. But I think there is a bit of a wait and see from the business community. I think there's positive reaction certainly to the news regarding China. You also saw news coming out over the weekend. The president talking about signing an executive order slashing pharmaceutical costs and prices here in the U.S. So a lot going on, to say the least, at the national level with implications here for Indiana. You mentioned the tariffs, and a lot of farmers, the agriculture community, obviously looking very closely at the tariff situation and what that might mean. This promises to be, unfortunately, a tough year for farmers when you look at prices, the input costs they have, and those types of things. So, Hoosier Agriculture among those really looking hard at what's going to happen on tariffs.
You bring up President Trump and this executive order that's supposed to be signed on pricing, and it's going to bring prices down, and our highest price can only be as high as another nation's lowest price, therefore maybe increasing prices in other nations, but those nations engage higher taxes to subsidize the costs. So I'm not sure how this all plays out, nor the idea of this is through executive order. But if you're Dave Ricks, if you're Eli Lilly looking at this situation, do you look at this and say this is an opportunity? Are you looking at this and saying this is good for the bottom line? What is the Hoosier Healthcare response to this type of executive order?
I think Lilly sees a great opportunity if you look at what some of the moves they have been making in terms of investment here in the United States in particular. There was an announcement some weeks ago from Lilly talking about increased manufacturing here in the United States, much of that right here in central Indiana at the Leap District in Boone County, with a major investment there. And then in terms of, aggressive moves, investing aggressively, Lilly just announced late last week, a $250 million collaboration with Purdue. It's actually an extension of a previous collaboration and a big expansion of that. And it gets into artificial intelligence and making pharmaceuticals more efficiently, gets into workforce, a whole host of things that Purdue and Lilly are going to be collaborating on. It will be interesting to watch that. In fact, Purdue President Mung Chiang thinks it could be ultimately the largest corporate academic partnership in the country that the country has ever seen. So we'll see how that plays out. But to your question, I think Lilly is looking at this as opportunity because they're investing in a big way in a number of areas.
That is Gary Dick, inside IndianaBusiness.com, on the Twitter X at IIB. Appreciate you as always. Matt Bear's got traffic. What's up, Matthew?
What's happening, John? What's happening, Tony? Looking at northbound 65, slow from South Keystone Avenue up to the South Split. East side northbound 465, slow after I-70 up to Penn Pike. Inbound 69, slow roll from 106th Street to 82nd. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, it's Rob.
And this is Casey.
Hope you have a great weekend and a fabulous Mother's Day.
We'll see you back here Monday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
Your new roof, that is Moss Roofing taking care of you. Or your new roof repair, also Moss Roofing taking care of you. That's what they do, because they get on your roof and give you that free inspection. You're not able to tell what's going on just looking at your roof from the ground. You need Moss Roofing to take a look for you. Understand what it is that they're looking for, because they do, with 2 generations behind them, with over 35 years of experience. Moss Roofing can find the smallest leak before it turns into the biggest disaster, because those small leaks that seep into your attic and your walls, your insulation, can cause mold and rot and expensive structural damage. Moss Roofing will make sure those minor drips don't turn into major repairs. Top-notch roofing services. Moss Roofing is the call to keep you dry this spring, summer, fall, and winter. Talk to Moss Roofing today. 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 747-3665, or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com.
Premier Deck Coating, the ultimate deck protection. Who are they? Well, they're a sister company of Rhino Shield, and Premier Deck Coating is the product you need if you're tired of applying the same old stain and paint every couple of years to your deck. It's Terry, Stacy, and David and I have a deck that's probably 25 years old. The countless hours and the money that we spend on maintaining that deck never ends. And then we heard about Premier Deck Coating. Family owned, based right here in Indy, and they are going to completely transform our deck with their special formulated product, which repels moisture, scratch resistant in virtually any color that we want, and backed by a 10-year guarantee. No more spending time staining or painting every year. Premier Deck Coating will keep our deck looking great for years to come. Premier Deck Coating can also do fences and pergolas too. For a free quote, call 317-696-4071 or visit premierdeckcoating.com.
This is the epic story that takes a whole month to tell. This is May. The legendary intense action of the month of May continues as PPG presents Armed Forces Indy 500 qualifying and the thrilling drama of the fight for the pole position. The most epic month continues with Indy's most epic party, Miller Lite Carb Day. And all roads lead to the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500 presented by Gainbridge. This is epic. This is legendary. This is May. Buy now and save. Get tickets at IMS.com.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. Owner Danny Reinhardt's son Kevin says one simple saying from his dad affects him every day at work.
Especially when you go out and do sales and service calls and collect money and do all this stuff that's important to a lot of people. He always said the number one thing I remember from him is just fair and honest wins every time.
You can trust Reinhardt Heating and Cooling, 317-745-4526. Reinhardt Heating and Cooling is your trusted local independent American Standard dealer.
Pat Sullivan here. Have you heard about impact-resistant shingles? They're the smart choice for protecting your home from harsh weather. And here's something you may not know. Most insurance companies offer discounts on your premiums if you install them. At the Michaelis Corporation, we offer top-tier Category 3 and Category 4 impact-resistant shingles that stand up to the toughest storms. From hail to high winds, these shingles offer a 30-year warranty that stands by their durability. And when a weather event hits, don't worry. Let Michaelis perform a free inspection of your property to ensure everything is in top condition. We don't inspect the roof at ground level. Our experts will safely climb onto the roof to check for damages. Roof, gutter, siding, windows are all inspected for storm damage. Michaelis Corporation provides over 35 years of disaster restoration. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. 844-FIXED-INDY. That's 844-FIX-INDY.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
Why they have concerns about Thursday. You've got a cloudy sky, and it's 64 degrees in downtown Indianapolis with some light showers popping up on radar. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 8:31. That is the day that there could be severe weather across Indiana.
The Storm Prediction Center highlighted our area for a slight risk for severe weather a couple days ago, so we've been monitoring this pretty closely.
Cody Moore with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says they'll have more information as they get closer to Thursday, but he also says you can expect more sporadic rainfall between now and then. The Indiana Pacers clobbered the Cleveland Cavaliers Sunday night to win Game 4 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, 129-109. Here's part of what the first half sounded like on the Pacers radio network with Mark Boyle.
Into the forecourt, Neesmith. Turner is feeling it, and why not? Why not? Why not? A three from 2 miles away, out on the left side. This cannot possibly be happening.
The Pacers scored 80 points in a half, which is a franchise postseason record. More on this coming up in sports in a moment. Opening statements begin today in the trial against rapper Sean Diddy Combs.
We know before both sides lay out their case in openings, we have to have a jury. So first things first, the parties will finalize a pool of 43 prospective jurors that return to the courthouse this morning. They'll make their strikes and final selections until they have a jury of 12 with 6 alternates seated indicted. Prosecutors accused Sean Diddy Combs of running a 20-year criminal enterprise with the help of associates and employees that engaged in sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, and other offenses.
That's Fox's Chanley Painter. If convicted on all charges, Combs could get life in prison. The FAA is blaming Sunday's 45-minute ground stop at Newark Liberty International Airport on a telecommunications problem. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says he has a message for the FAA.
Fix it. Fix it now. Newark must be number one in their priority scale.
But already today, dozens of cancellations and delays are reported at Newark, according to the website FlightAware.com. China owns most of the vessels that ship goods around the world. Indiana Senator Todd Young believes the Ships for America Act could change that, and you, as a Hoosier, might have a part in it.
Indiana makes steel for one.
Steel will be needed for many of these vessels.
And Hoosiers could make other components.
And we make a lot of components, including engines. You can imagine maritime engines being made at Cummins and used for all these different ships that are going to be produced here.
Young tells Wish TV's All Indiana Politics he believes Indiana will be a player in manufacturing of the components, if not of the ships themselves, but says making ships here could be a possibility too, should the legislation become law. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And the number one movie in North America?
I was in high school when the Avengers came.
Is Thunderbolts, making $33 million this past weekend. It's a movie where a group of anti-heroes are caught in a deadly trap and forced to work together on a dangerous mission. Coming in at number 2 is Sinners with $21 million, followed by a Minecraft movie in third. And sports on WIBC is brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. Indiana Pacer guard Tyrese Halliburton says he was pleased with the way his team handled their business in the win over the Cleveland Cavaliers Sunday night.
Obviously, the first half was pretty amazing. The shot making, and I thought we were really good on the defensive end. We still got a lot of work to do.
Game 5 tomorrow night in Cleveland at 7 o'clock. The Pacers can win the series with another victory, which would send them back to the Eastern Conference Finals for a second straight year. As for the Indiana Fever, they closed out the preseason with an 81-76 win Sunday over the Atlanta Dream. Fever head coach Stephanie White spoke after the win about what she hopes to continue seeing.
Obviously, you want to win. Winning it gives you a different kind of vibe, a different kind of feel. But more than anything, we want to see growth.
They start the regular season this Friday against the Chicago Sky. And just announced this morning, the NFL says they will kick off the regular season on Thursday, September 4th, with the defending champion Philadelphia Eagles playing the Dallas Cowboys. I'm John Herrick on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. 8:35 with traffic on the 5s. Matt Bear.
What up, John? Looking at northbound 65 on the south side, slow from South Keystone Avenue up to the south split. That's because of construction. East side northbound 465 slow after I-70 up to Penn Pike. Inbound 69 drags just a bit, 106th Street down to 82nd. And a crash on the east side 30th at New Jersey. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin's Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
63 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 8:36.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, and AI? Attend classes live, online, or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov or text Tony Katz to 46220 today.
How bad is it? Don't sugarcoat it. Give it to me straight. Want coffee?
I think I need some coffee.
Time to fill up on the news. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. Dow futures up 1,100. NASDAQ futures up 818. Why? Because the tariffs in China, on China, going down 115%. You will now have a 30% tariff on Chinese goods. China placing a 10% tariff on American goods. This is to, I guess, bring about a deal. Remember, there is no trade deal that has been reached. So we shouldn't say it like that, and people shouldn't report it like that. This was the conversation to get started on a possible trade deal. Thus, the tariffs come down. The market's going to love it. I don't know if it's the right move for the negotiation, but, as Trump would say, you can always put them back. They just put them right back if you think that China's acting the part of the fool. Oil prices up $63.39 right now on the Brent crude. I'm sorry, on the West Texas crude. The Brent crude at $66.23 in both cases, up a little over $2.30 a barrel. The 10-year Treasury at 4.461. Again, housing affected there. I'm not going to complain about a reduction of the tariffs. Not at all. I'm just saying it's not a deal. And the people who are cheering it as a deal, they're not being honest. There's no deal yet. There's only a conversation to have a conversation about a deal. That's it. And Trump said he wasn't going to lower anything and then teased it, and now we've got this. So enjoy it. If it means that more goods can get here, good. There's still a tariff at play, so that will have some level of effect. But it's not 145%. I assume at 10%, actually it's 30%, companies will say we'll absorb that. I'm assuming that the 30%, there's a slight increase, but there's an absorption factor. And those half-full cargo ships and cargo containers now become full. Everybody's reaching out to their counterparts in China and already have been over the last few hours and said, send the rest of the stuff. We'll take it now. Send every last bit of it. You also have, there was this. Did you hear this audio? John Herrick was playing this. This is Chuck Schumer talking about the issues going on at Newark Airport and the issues with late flights and delayed flights and communications is going down. And this was Chuck Schumer.
Fix it. Fix it now. Newark must be number one in their priority scale. Fix it.
Scumbag. Hold on. No. You can tell me there's a better word, but my gosh. For 4 years, you said nothing about Pete Buttigieg doing nothing. Fix it. Well, aren't you just terrific? Like a ray of sunshine, Chuck Schumer. It is. It's scumbaggery. Fix it. 4 years you did nothing. Pete Buttigieg is a fool and a failure and a dope. It's like listening to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez be very concerned about how people are treated in ICE detention. But she never once went to the border when Biden was in office because she doesn't care about black children or brown children. She doesn't care about children from another nation. She doesn't even care about people in this nation. She doesn't. Only when it's politically advantageous is she worried about how people are treated in ICE custody. These people are gross. They are obscene people. Bad people. Of course, fix it. But don't act like you're tough. And as a matter of fact, I would only hope that Sean Duffy, the transportation secretary, tells Schumer to shut the blank up. And he should say it without the blank part. He should say it directly, fully, completely. This is not a time, or I should say it differently. We've had enough of this political garbage. There are real problems and they need to be fixed. And so we're all clear, that absolute loser, Pete Buttigieg, didn't fix anything. Would not have known how to fix anything. Just a reminder, just an understanding, making sure we have the facts right. Chuck Schumer. chump of chumps. Tony Katz, that's me, not a chump. 93 WIBC, good morning. When there's a power outage, what is your plan? It starts now with a call to Generator Supercenter and getting a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home. Generator Supercenter is the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. Give yourself the peace of mind calling now for a free estimate. So if the power goes out, what happens with a Generac automatic standby generator is that it just kicks right on. It kicks on, the power goes out, it kicks on, and your family is safe and secure. Your perishables in the freezer, in the fridge, no worries. Your business can still be up and running. Yeah, your family safe and secure. That is the #1 thing. Financing is available with low monthly payments. Call today, Generator Supercenter, and get your free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator. Visit the new showroom at 96th Street and I-69. Do it right now. 317-827-0808. 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter, 827-0808.
The pothole. Formed in colder months, tiny fissures are born. And in no time at all, they grow into big, gigantic tire killers. That's why you need Matt Baird Traffic.
Watch out on Keystone Avenue.
He'll guide you around these hidden monsters.
Yeah, might as well call it a basement.
And on to safer ground.
You don't want to be in the far left lane.
Mornings and afternoons on 93 WIBC.
Turning 65, new to Medicare, or just moved? If you qualify for Medicare and Medicaid, a Humana Dual Eligible Special Needs Plan, a D-SNP, may give you the extra benefits you're looking for. A D-SNP helps cover things like prescriptions and checkups, but it also helps pay for essentials, too. With a Humana D-SNP, you get $225 a month for eligible groceries, rent, utilities, and more. Plus, whatever you don't spend carries over to the next month. You may even get benefits like $0 copays on routine prescriptions, plus routine dental, vision, or hearing coverage. All of this could make a difference for your health and wallet. Learn more at GetHumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a coordinated care HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the Indiana Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal. Allowance amounts cannot be combined with other benefit allowances. Limitations and restrictions may apply.
Traffic on the fives. Matt Baer, what are you doing?
Northbound 65, slow on the south side, coming up from Bremen Street to the south split because of construction. Crash on the east side, 30th at New Jersey, and in Lawrence, East 56 at Lee Road. That's flashing red lights, so you have to treat that intersection like a four-way stop. Again, it's 56 at Lee. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
63 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 8:46.
Everyone's talking about Galaxy Concrete Coatings and their transformation, like business owner Brian.
Yeah, Galaxy was great. We have a business where a lot of the service techs are working out in the field, and they'll come in and they'll have even some mud or something on our shoes. So if we're having a meeting, I needed a flooring that could stand up to that, but still look good as an office setting.
Well, if you own a home or a business, Galaxy Concrete Coatings got you covered.
Galaxy was great to work around our schedule. They were able to come in on a Saturday, and the job was completed over the weekend, and we were back in business, so we didn't miss a step.
Lots of styles to choose from, 4 times stronger than epoxy, and it comes with a lifetime warranty.
It's very nice looking. It's very durable. Really makes the room stand out and shine.
Click on GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com now. That's Galaxy Concrete Coatings. And remember to like us on Facebook. Galaxy Concrete Coatings. We're out of this world.
Galaxy was quick to respond. They were quick to give us a solution and quick to get it completed as well. And they're going to take care of you.
The Home and Garden Show is on the road this Saturday. They'll be broadcasting live from 9 to 1 at Miss M's Home and Garden Spring Open House in Bargersville. Enjoy the Pearl Coffee Company, Mallow Run Winery, and Chomp's Food Truck. There'll be door prizes, giveaways, and more.
It's time to play America's favorite game. What the heck is this TV theme song? Here is how we play. Tony Katz. That's me, by the way. 93 WIBC. Good morning. Producer Carl picks a television theme song from yesteryear. I have to guess what that theme song is. And the problem is, this sounds like a lot of those kind of, it's not serialized, those kinds of dramas from the day, you know, everything that was competing with Dallas, even though I could tell you what Dallas was. So, you know.
You're making it more complicated.
I don't know if I am. Play it again. Carl says I'm making it more complicated.
It's really easy.
It's really easy?
Yeah. Even Matt Bear's going to get this.
Well, then I'm going to phone a friend. I will phone a friend. Matt Bear, what is this?
That's Charlie's Angels, Tony. Oh, come on.
How about I'm Robin Leach?
Oh. That's Lifestyles?
Yeah. Wow.
I would not have gotten Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous to save my life.
Never made it on that show.
No. No, you didn't know.
Sent a demo.
Did you?
Yeah. 500 square feet, baby.
They clearly didn't get it. They clearly didn't get the demo.
No.
And you didn't get the lifestyle.
No. I got none of it.
That's that. All right. Sometimes I win, sometimes I lose. Everything is there at WIBC.com. What the heck is a TV theme song? And it was Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. And no, I did not get that one. Did not. Mostly because I'm in radio. So there's that. On Tony Katz today at noon, we will be discussing this executive order from President Trump regarding pharmaceutical pricing. This agreement, if you will, to lower tariffs between China and the United States, which has the market very, very happy. Not the 10-year Treasury, but the market is happy because less tariffs means more opportunity. But we still don't have a deal as of yet. We also want to know if any Democrat lawmakers are going to be arrested and thrown in jail for, of course, the violence they engaged with Border Patrol agents, I should actually say ICE agents, there in New Jersey at a detention center, trying to break in, getting into fights with ICE, and then claiming that it's ICE that was abusing them. You did this, Democrats. You did this. And still, you believe your entire raison d'etre is being on the side of illegal immigrants. It's very odd. Very, very odd stuff. You've got a possible peace talk between Ukraine and Russia that might take place in Turkey. Writing that President Putin of Russia doesn't want to have a ceasefire agreement with Ukraine, but rather wants to meet on Thursday in Turkey to negotiate a possible end to the bloodbath. Ukraine should agree to this immediately. Maybe he continued by saying, I'm starting to doubt that Ukraine will make a deal with Putin, who's too busy celebrating the victory of World War II, which could not have been won, not even close, without the United States of America. Have the meeting now. So he's throwing the blame in every direction he possibly can. Russia doesn't want the meeting. Russia wants Ukraine destroyed. There's just no question. And for everybody who said you know, this is all about Ukraine. Ukraine won't do this. Ukraine won't do that. I'm not going to tell you Ukraine wouldn't do a bunch of things, but it's never been all about Ukraine. Just hasn't. Then you have right now a tentative peace deal between Pakistan and India. That has had skirmishes and fighting. Don't know if that's going to hold. These things are happening. There's a lot of movement going on around the globe. But as I stated the other day, you know, my disagreements with Trump about whether it's pricing this or strategy that, they exist. Do you know how much better off we are? The whole conversation about Joe Biden doing these interviews and why is he doing them? And it doesn't make any sense that he's doing them. It's a mistake. Why would Democrats want to put him out there? Because every time he's out there and he's so incapable, it's a reminder that they lied to all of America about his mental well-being. They lied. They know they lied. They don't care that they lied. They'll laugh in your face about the lie. They won't ever admit it, and they'll tell you why you're talking about yesterday. It's very important stuff. We are far better off. There are things that I don't agree with Trump on. I'm going to say so. Things that I want him to move on. We're so much better off. It's hard to describe. Hard to fathom. And yet we continue with this party, the Democratic Party, that refuses to learn a single lesson. Refuses to be honest. And when that's happening, you would think the political right would take more advantage of it. But not here in Indiana. And I'm not so sure as a party they're taking advantage of it federally. We'll get into that conversation at noon. I will see you all then. Kendall and Casey are up next, and right now Matt Bear has traffic.
Northbound 65 slow from Raymond Street into the South Split because of construction. Inbound 69 slow after 106th Street down to 82nd. Southbound 65, a little bit of company from MLK down to 21st, but any delay we had there has